now in the Super Weekend is worth $1,000 each. There
Yeah.
are 15 matches, 5 matches are happening every single day. So a potential for a team to pick up $5,000 in a single day if they like get those 5 chicken dinners, which in itself would be quite an achievement over there. But on the other side, I mean, we have in the past seen teams walk away with just like $5,000, $6,000 extra because of those chicken dinner wins. And again, ladies and gentlemen, as we did mention this earlier, when we move on to the next week, the 20 teams will be back for the league play stages. So the teams that did not qualify, A1 Esports, High Voltage, Diastrix, and TRZ, will have another opportunity to qualify for the second Super Weekend and then earn some points. And also, let's not forget, only the points that you get for yourself in the Super Weekend matches matter. They are the only points that are counted. Points from league play, they reset every single week, and at the end of the third week, top 16 teams will be moving forward for the finals.
And this is the overall schedule right now in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You saw the first league play happening, the league play week 1 happening, and now it's time for the Super Weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then we move on to the second one, out of which we'll be looking forward to the teams of the second Super Weekend, then the third one, and then we'll be moving on to the finals, 22nd to 24th of April, as we are looking in on the schedule. But right now, this first Super Weekend, chance to get so much amount for yourself right now to begin with, and well, players are definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, almost everyone will, because $5,000, a potential to win 5 grand for yourself if you can get those chicken dinners in the matches. But again, every single game, $1,000 for the chicken dinner if you win. At the end, we do talk about the total prize pool as well. That is $150,000, including everything, including the MVP, including the $2,500 for participation for all the 20 teams that are in the league stages right now. If you make it to the finals, if you are in the top 16, then you get an opportunity to increase your bank, increase your prize share. But in order to do that, you have to first perform really well in the Super Weekends. Even if you aren't getting those chicken dinner and $1,000 for the chicken dinners, you still can go into the finals as one of the top contenders. Gonna be a little upset though, I mean, missing out on a lot of cash right there. But still, I mean, if you get the momentum, the ball rolling, and if you win the big bucks in the finals, it doesn't matter, right?
Johnny, either you look at it as a win-win situation, or maybe the grapes are sour, you know, something or the other. But right now, talk about the point structure. 15 for the chicken dinner, 12 for second, third gets 10, 4 gets 8, fifth gets 6, 6 gets 4, 7 gets 2, 8 to 12 gets 1, 13 to 16 gets none. This is the only thing that I can rhyme out right now. Elimination points, 1 per elimination. And well, we saw a lot of teams getting lots and lots of elimination points for themselves in the league plays. But now is the time to start off your numbers that will matter the most.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you need to start stacking up those points. And talking about the teams, as we have been constantly talking about who's going to perform, who's not going to perform, who has the most potential. I mean, Stalwart Esports coming into the Super Weekend, the very first Super Weekend, Ocean, as you so rightfully predicted, that they have this tendency of dominating the first week. They did the same thing this week. I mean, 118 points sitting on the first position as they came into the Super Week.
See, last Wednesday, you asked me why I'm going into such a nostalgic mood, and you see this, right? History is kind of repeating itself again and again. IHC, the Phantom, Deadeyes Guys. These 4 names are brilliant. Definitely would want to just see their incredible gameplays. I mean, Cordless, we know his form, we know his incredible form as for what he goes for. IC, another brilliant player as well. On the other side, we have 1952 Vibes, Venom Legends, Raw Esports. Raw has some brilliant players. I mean, Mama God, we've seen his gameplays here and there quite a while. Now, Vibes has Joker, an incredible player, one of the veterans. We talked down about the scene of Nepal, just stays there. Venom Legends has Rafat. We know his gunpowder, his game sense is incredible. Steel Shot as well. These players, they definitely would want to just conquer the entire battleground today.
I mean, definitely. But, I mean, if you talk about 1952, I think there is definitely going to be quite a little bit of a struggle right there with the team. I mean, we saw Entry not living up to the same expectations that we hold for him. because of how he has played in the previous seasons. He looks completely different right now, but the rest of the team did start to step up during the second day. So I would like to see where 1952 will end up by the end of today, because this is a very important Super Week start for them. But talking about the other teams, we have the team that did phenomenal on the first day, but not so good on the second, Skylightz Gaming. And since this is the Super Week, they will be super consistent and will try to make sure that they're within the top three at the end of the day. And so will DRS. These two teams, the rivalry is still going to be there. And also ElementriX, let's talk about them, because I mean, the way ElementriX started off the day, first day of the league play stages, they were not looking good. But on the second day, they improved so much. I mean, it was really impressive watching them in action, constantly getting those high place finishes on day number 2. I mean, they have 3 third place finishes, top 3 exits on the second day, and I think that is why ElementriX, they have what it takes to somewhere end up in the top 5 at the end of the first Super Weekend.
And then there is this team, Stalwart Esports, right? We know when they like to get serious. Pika, Action, Scry, Top, Senator, Jurgal. I mean, incredible people. Overall, really good friends of mine as well. Trained to kill. They have Jane, Frankie, Legend. We know these players. GI Jane is the term that was coined a few PMPLs back. JyanMaara, a veteran name coming down. I've had the honor to meet these people as well when they were traveling and all. 7C Sports, another amazing team coming down onto the battlegrounds right now. They have showcased their incredible performance previously as well. So we have high expectations, high hopes from this team as well. But then again, we'll see if they deliver or not. Because this, my friend, it's showtime.
Exactly. This is the showtime right now. If you fail to gather those points, then the impact of that, the waves of that, you will feel not just for this week, but till the end of the finals, and maybe a missed opportunity, a missed chicken dinner in one of the Super Weekend matches might just be the thing that keeps you away from moving on to the finals. So it's definitely quite important for the teams to be on their best and be on their toes as well inside the matches. But look at the day 1 versus day 2 comparison of Esports. They definitely picked up the pace by quite a lot on the second day.
Around 45% more damage dealt as compared to their first day. 893, 1612. Definitely, just showcasing out here. Healing amount definitely increased a bit as well. Well, we won't go to that one. Eliminations 5.3 to 7.5. It's good because the survival time's increasing as well. 17.5 minutes to 23 plus minutes. That's pretty decent as well for themselves. And then points accumulated. Around from 11, they went down to 18. That's a significant point jump. And well, it definitely showcases that this team is ready. But then again, you know about them, right? They have a good phase in the league week. And then Super Weekend somehow just showcases a different story for them sometimes.
I mean, that has been the story for Esports, but I think this time they themselves are going to try and prove us wrong. They themselves want to make sure that they're consistent, not just for the first week, but for the entire duration of the league stages. And I think that is very important for Esports to accomplish. Otherwise, I think it's going to be quite a questionable decision as to what is happening with this team. They come back season after season, year after year, and it's the same process again. But although I do have to say, I love the maths that Esports did right there. All right, guys, these are our numbers. What do we need to do to hit the first position? Let's just try and double up every single stat. We are dishing out 800 damage. Let's try 1600 and see what happens. So, yeah, quite an interesting position that was accumulated. Quite an interesting accumulation of points right there from Esports. But again, it's important to see what is going to happen today.
Look at their last 3 games, Johnny.
I mean, they got 2 chicken dinners back to back.
Exactly, and that just showcases the amount of points that they accumulated, and that definitely just calls for the overall standings for them to just shoot up higher and higher. But 5th game, that is the first game of the second day, was not that good as compared to the other games, and well, it takes 3 games to just change the course overall sometimes. And well, they had those 3 games for themselves. The consistency that they showed was just brilliant, and now they'll have to start off with that consistency. Obviously, there was a 1 day gap, but I'm pretty sure that 1 day gap they'll have used it, and they'll be using it for their own goods if they can. But then again, we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens.
I think the best part, and you will agree with me on this about the Super Weekends for us and for the teams, is that you don't have to worry about groups going in, groups going out, teams sitting out, teams coming in. That the variety is completely gone. It's just the same 16 teams that are going to be there, and there is
Yeah.
no breaking of the flow, no breaking of the momentum as such, game after game. I mean, with the maps keep continuously switching, teams do tend to have those mid-drop performances. But apart from that, I mean, the teams that start off well do end up being pretty consistent. But let's have a look at ElementriX as well. As we did discuss, they also picked up the pace. And as we were talking about doubling up their stats, I mean, ElementriX, they have just gone for triple the damage on the second day.
Definitely good increase. And if you look at their healing numbers, right, there is an increase, but it's not that much. And look at their elimination increases from 1.5. I don't know how they were taking down half a man, but from 1.5 they have increased it to 7. That is just incredible. And in 4 matches with an average of 5 points, they went on to 14.8.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I mean, the second day for ElementriX was pretty incredible, especially their final 3 games as well. As you mentioned, Ocean, before when we were talking about DRS Esports, that things can definitely be turned around in just 3 matches if you manage to be consistent on a whole another level. Stalwart Esports did that with their second place finishes and the 2 chicken dinners that they got. ElementriX on the other side decided to be a little bit more, I have to say, strategic in their approach to the situation, in the sense that their positioning inside those matches that they finished well in was very good. Their end game scenario was, I think, made clear with the way they were taking those fights, that we need to get those survival points one way or the other, because they had 3 back-to-back third place finishes in their final 3 matches. And I mean, it was an incredible run. They did manage to secure a lot of elimination in the final 2 as well.
The graph overall has had an increased pace for themselves after the 4th game, right? 5th obviously was not that on to a good start, but just like we said, just like we discussed, Johnny, it takes 3 games to change your course.
Yep.
They had those 3 games as well for themselves, back-to-back top 3 finishes, just like you said, and that definitely shows the way the team has, just performed. Their 6th game was not that good with the frag potential, but after that, they definitely showed that frag potential. And well, this team has that frag potential. ElementriX being one of the oldest teams when we just talk about the scenario overall of that region, and well, they have been just delivering day in day out. They have been grinding day in day out, and well, their grind definitely shows. Mr. Hyozu, the player, one of the most respected players when it comes down to the region, and well, he is definitely doing really good this season as well.
I mean, definitely. And I mean, I would love to see some more action from Liquid and Sus. I mean, we did see them sort of start to step up in those final 2 matches on day number 2 of the league play stages, because in those matches is where ElementriX sort of got those elimination points for themselves. I mean, the second last game, they had 13 eliminations. The last game, they had 9 eliminations, which is also like in a lobby like this, 9 eliminations is quite a lot, to be honest. And ElementriX did, in fact, have a good run during the league play stages. But the question again now becomes, Ocean, I think you will agree with me on this, that during the league play stages, once I think Skylightz Gaming, Stalwart, and IHC, these teams realize, even Deadeyes Guys, I think you could notice in their gameplay, once these teams figured out, all right, we have the 50 points that we need to qualify, they were just starting to do random stuff inside of the game. I mean, we saw Skylightz Gaming take isolated fights in multiple positions. IHC was trying to do a lot of weird things during the days as well. So today everyone is going to be serious, and it's not going to be that easy to secure those back-to-back 3-place finishes.
One of our really good friends, Ansh, he was just showcasing me a video, and that was not obviously this tournament, but that was some different third-party scrims that these players were playing. And what they were doing is, like, sitting on a buggy, driving a buggy, changing the seats mid-air just to take down the play. They were just practicing weird things. I want to see those things happening though this time in this tournament.
I mean, Ocean, there's $1,000 on the line of every single game.
Imagine
I think
getting a chicken dinner in style, getting that's $1,000 in style.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun to watch. But I think we won't see that in week 1. I think we'll have to wait till the second week, because by the second week, I think that the differences between the teams are going to be pretty clear. The separation that's going to be there on the leaderboard, it's going to be pretty significant within the top 3, the top 4, whatever the scenario is going to be based on today. And I think the top performing teams, they will know that they have a certain leeway that they can use for their advantage, and try and go for some cheeky play or something awesome to entertain us, I guess. But again, I mean, we did have a look at the schedule, ladies and gentlemen, and yes, we will be having our very first Sanhok on the first day of the Super Weekend. So it's going to be super exciting to watch, because neither of the teams until now have played Sanhok against each other. As far as this tournament is considered, you talk about their history, they have played against each other on that particular map quite a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, they've had that read of
Yeah.
Sanhok though, but they haven't had that a proper affair of Sanhok with each other when we talk about this tournament. And well, every tournament's different as well. Sometimes a team thinks that they would just want to change their drop location one tournament or the other, just understand what their drop locations might be, and they might just be coming back to their original drop location. Also, that's the thing. But then again, I want to ask this question from the audience, from our respected audience out here. Apart from Sanhok, apart from Miramar or Erangel, like we know these things are happening, but which team do they think is going to take that first winner chicken in the first
Ooh.
$1,000? Come on, we ourselves are greedy. We love money. We love money affairs. So we would just want to
Yeah.
understand which team do they think is going to get the
I
first
mean,
ever
all right.
winner chicken of the season. Yeah.
So I'm gonna stir the pot a little bit more. I want one of the bottom 3 or bottom 4 teams to qualify for the Super Weekend to take the very first one. I mean, T2K 1952,
Oh,
Savage, or 7C Esports. Because I mean, we know these teams. I mean, their history is also pretty solid. They have a good,
yes.
decent set of players, and if things go just right for them, I
You
think they
remember?
also have the potential to secure chicken dinners in the Super Week.
You remember the first ever chicken in the previous seasons. In fact, previous to previous season was taken by T2K, in which Jane was the MVP, and like
Exactly.
that's how they started off their journey. But well, talking about this journey right now, ladies and boys and girls, we have all our 64 participants right on our screens, ready for it. And well, let's get ready to rumble! Did I say that out loud? I guess I
Yeah.
did.
Too
But yeah.
loud, I guess. I think, yeah. Yeah. For sure, my ears are bleeding now. Just had to confirm that. But no worries, I'll be okay. I guess it's time to just enjoy the mind-numbing action that we're about to witness. As ladies and gentlemen, the match is about to start. The Colosseum is ready, and the plane flying over the Colosseum. I mean, a little bit confusing with how the timelines have been laid out, but still pretty fun to watch. And I guess we have the plane in front of us as well, starting from the western edge, the southwestern edge, heading towards the northeastern part of the map. The expensive skins, because you have to show off as well.
CoinXX just coming down with the players of
Ocean, are we
CLAS.
handing out style points as well? I mean, on our own, you and me.
What is this, Fast and Furious now?
I think we should.
Taking down, going down with a vehicle. All right, but yeah, those are good. Show off style points. Definitely just gonna give it to them. I don't have a CoinXX, but I definitely have a Lambo, and well, I have a Tesla. So Elon's a good friend, trust me. So yeah, just coming down right now. If we talk about the military base area, you can see Stalwart just dropping down, moving to the areas of Novo Repnoi. Seal just coming down to military base as well, as that is their drop location right now. Venom Legends is dropping down as well. Phantom we see quite close to them. ElementriX's players on their own split, just coming down to the areas of Ferry Pier, the backsides of the 12 pack, and T2K will see them on the areas of 7.
Well, it's going to be quite interesting for them as well, because Skylightz
Wow.
Gaming is going to be quite close to them. DRS, I think this time are going to be pretty happy because they've been dropping quite close to, in fact, taking entire control of Milta. And usually we had another team towards their right, but this time DRS, they only have to worry about 1952 on the farm position, and JyanMaara, who like to go towards Mansion, Lipovka Prison, and Shelter. So again, it's going to be quite interesting to see how these teams are going to tackle the positions, because now I don't think there's any need to do that. No incentive to move. 90% of the teams already inside the circle. It's just Venom Legends that are outside the zone. So one team needs to move in, everyone else just needs to hold their ground. Not the start that I wanted, to be on it, but honest. But I guess I'll take this. It's fine, because I mean, a centralized circle means the late game action is going to be quite interesting to watch and very, very intense.
I mean, imagine the areas around that Potato Hill to Pochinki. They are going to be really intense on the movements when we talk about it. But right now, if we look at the players from IHC, they are just moving forward slowly and steadily, and obviously just trying to get to their own areas, and it definitely looks decent. And they'll start off their loot on a good note. But on the other side, DRS looks like they are in a bit of a pickle situation. I mean, it's not like they have someone quite close to them, but they are way in open and way around the areas where there's minimal loot. So to start off.
I think, again, it's going to be quite difficult for DRS if they don't find some loot early. And by early, I mean within the next 5 minutes, because they might be in some trouble again, as we did talk about JyanMaara in 1952 being quite close to them, let's not forget Stalwart Esports, who land towards Nova Repnoi and have the tendency of prioritizing the Nova Repnoi bridge as their first viable option to move to the main island. So that is something that I think is going to be in the back of the heads of the lads of DRS as well. They're going to be worried about the situation and will try to secure some early loot for themselves. But Savage Esports, all right. So one of the teams that I talked about earlier, Ocean, has again did manage to qualify for the Super Weekend, but barely made it through. They have to be on point this time. I mean, we saw Eisenberg in some interesting action. Hustler tried his level best, but as a team, Savage Esports, it always felt like something was missing.
Yeah, it's like that. We call it the factor.
Yeah.
That's the thing that was just not with the players. Right now, we see the other players as well. Hustler just moving forward. Miracle, his stats 556 damage, 3 eliminations, 76 is the longest distance. That shows that the lad is not taking those long range battles much. But talking about Hershey, well, he's going for the mid to long ranges. 1 elimination though, but 500 damage dealt. Age 18. And longest is an elimination just coming down there as well. And then there is Sanchir. 8 eliminations, 2109 total damage.
Wait,
17 years old lad.
I'm surprised. You have been watching this lad for a while. Is he just 17?
Exactly. That was my question because I remember watching him in the previous wildcard region and all those things like coming down. Sanchir just coming down with what? From Hell Godless and all those times. All right. Well, talk about the players. So Yoga is 19. 4 eliminations, 660 damage, 151 longest eliminations, and looks pretty decent on the play card right now with the elimination numbers. A legend on a screen right now. 20 years old, 9 eliminations, 3205. 6 times scope, red dot dropped.
Legend is an absolute legend with a final few performances that he put in during the league play days. I mean, in my personal opinion, he's the reason T2K made it to the Super Weekend because that was pretty important. The guy pulling off 1v2s, 1v3s, surviving till the end game scenarios, making sure the placement point, the elimination points are coming for his team. Very impressive. And yeah, a new name, a new face.
Not exactly the new face, but I like
new name,
it. Yeah, exactly. New name. Jhukegani just coming down there. Jivan Crazy has been there in the previous season as well. Akujot, Precious, pretty good players to be honest from the side of 7C. Roz, Rig. Come on, my friend. You're taking down $1 million car. Oh.
Yeah. Ocean's heart just broke right now. Oh, yeah, that's how you turn it over.
Yep.
Oh,
turn it!
They did it!
Come on. That's how you tow a car nowadays, ladies and boys and girls.
Yeah. But still, I mean...
But then again, yeah. That was $1 million car, come on. But still, yeah.
I mean, is that your favorite color now? Just chrome.
Nah. If I'm buying a car, I would go for a proper black Lambo, or maybe just coming down to what is it? A reddish black, some sort of a black tint should be there in that vehicle. That's something that I would just go for. What car do you like though?
I love the McLaren.
Oh,
that has to be my favorite. Yeah.
I am speed. But well, talking about the situations right now, you see 7C's players just are right around the corner of Phantom's players, as they are also just trying to find out their own areas pretty close to each other. 7C's Akujor, although he's quite a bit far away from his own teammates, which is not that good, not that bad, as he's just also trying to get all sorts of information for himself, and will be delivering that information to the team as well as it is needed. But as of now, not a lot of action is happening. It's kind of like the sloth zone situation, and well, it is because no one would want to give up their players right so early in the game. Everyone would want to get those kills for themselves, but no one would want to give their kills. Again, ladies and boys and girls, this is a Super Weekend. Every chicken dinner gives you $1,000.
I guess welcome to the Super Weekend, because no one wants to take an unnecessary fight right now. There's too much of a risk if you go down early. Plus, again, as we did talk about the circle as well, it's quite centralized, so there is no major incentive for the teams to force these fights. Unless you see someone like Rig has been spotted out in the open, and Yeta tries to go for a few shots with the scar in his hands, but does not really manage to accomplish anything right there. And again, as I was saying, that there is no incentive to force those fights. So if you have a good cover position for yourself, you would like to hold that position for as long as possible, unless the circle moves away from you or you're getting charged upon. Right now, the teams, I think the strategy is pretty simple: get to the center, find some cover, and just hold on and pray for your dear life.
Yeah, that's just, how it should be. Look at the circle just, trying to close down right now in the situation. And that's how we just, are trying to understand what happens overall. But then again, slowly and steadily, the players are just, trying to move forward here and there. And they are just, trying to get a good area, in fact, inside the zone for themselves. The
Yeah.
circle shifts are really, really important for the players as well as the teams, as this zone just shifts a bit to not exactly, but slightly to the southeastern
Yeah.
side. Farm is a really good area. Again, I'm telling you that Potato Hill is important for the rotations of the players, and well, they'll try to get the rotations done. Seal on the other side. Look at this. Seal was trying to move from the left-hand side
Yeah.
of the bridge, but it looks like they might have to maybe go for a plan B.
I mean, Seal can still try to make it in because, I mean, using the
Look at
military bridge, they
Skylightz, though.
have.
Northern
S-
side.
yeah. I think, again, so any position towards the Potato Hill area, towards the south of Pochinki, is going to be very difficult to move around in because you saw the cluster of teams that were there. And it's definitely going to be very, very difficult for the teams to survive. But on the other side, Ocean, did you notice? I mean, Stalwart Esports and DRS were getting quite close to each other. So, I mean, I anticipate a little bit of a collision between those two teams. But right now, it's 1952's C-Wine taking his shots on the lads of 7C, and they've managed to take a little bit of a shack for themselves, use it as cover, but I don't think they'll be able to hold on to that position for a while now. But coming back to the situation at hand, Rig, he's solo, almost getting taken down. 1952, they might be able to capitalize on this fight. Steps out in the open, takes some damage again, but still managed to survive. And it's going to be Entry finding the first opening for his team. Raw in a little bit of a disadvantage right now. They just charged in completely blind, unaware of the opposition that was waiting for them. And well, now Team Raw, they are stuck in this trap that was laid out by the lads of 1952.
And 90 degrees also stuck from 1952, perhaps, though in this situation he cannot make up a move right now. But look at this as Evil Eye is trying to charge in, but Evil Eye will take one down, but Assault's grenade just, returning the favor. It's down to Entry. It's down to C1, 90 degree. As for what they can do, as C1 is trying to move forward as well as Entry. Just with that, Buggy is trying to go for an entry right now. 90 degree again, just dropping down, casting down one player. Assault is just out there in the drop shots, just coming in. Assault, will he be able to take everyone down as C1 is the last man surviving? 32 bullets onto him, although he just takes down one. And Skazi versus 1952's last player, C1. Last but not the least, Kazi survives and will give up a revival on two players, but 1952, they mark an exit.
Wow, and what an amazing fight from the lads of Raw, losing out on one of their teammates earlier on in the fight, but still managing to recover quite nicely. And Assault, being the main assaulter for the team, definitely living up to the name that he has for himself, just gunning down those lads of 1952 as they pushed in to finish him and his teammates off. But we have the second airdrop, ladies and gentlemen. The first one, I believe, has been picked up by the lads of IHC, but the second airdrop brings with it the MG3, the cheek pad, the level 3 kit is going to be there as well. So quite a decent upgrade for anyone who's quite close to picking this up. And I believe it's going to be the lads from Raw that are nearby.
Oh, yeah, probably. They might just want to go to that area. But you see, pretty close to them now is 7C.
Yep.
I mean, they were there only. But it's like they're trying to move from one compound to the other compound as they're just, trying to get their own areas. And now the circle shift is going to be really, really important. We'll be seeing that circle just, going down to its own areas. Look at that. From Potato Hill, the rotations will happen to the areas around Farm. And talk about these kind of rotations. DRS has a pretty decent area, but Stalwart, what is that place that they have for themselves? And look at their split. If everything goes according to their plan, they might just get the first chicken dinner.
Oh, now, Ocean, the way this game started with the centralized circle, I thought we were going to have a very, very slow game where I think the first quad wipe I expected was going to happen like around 20 minutes into the match, but I've been proven wrong with the second shift, and the third shift is even better. Still, I think the land area is quite low, and the teams are going to be forced to fight. Raw getting absolutely destroyed by the lads from Seal Esports, and well, they also have their attention split between Raw and JyanMaara. JyanMaara finding the opening, Demo with a trade. Wally has been knocked out, but Demo is quite close to him, so it's going to be an easy revive for him. But Baron, he's in an interesting spot, and finally gets behind cover.
Yeah, he's getting on behind that cover area for himself, as he's just trying to get decent areas for himself. So Yog just gets out of the harm's way from a really harmful situation though. But now Malik understands it's not just Suyog, but there are other players as well. So he'll just try to reposition himself on the other side. Airdrop taken, as we could just read that one out. We saw the airdrops just having pretty good weapons. In fact, the MG3 just arrived, and well, it was definitely taken. Right now, JyanMaara is just trying to go for the fights against Savage's players as they take down one legend, just ramming down his scoop RB in that small tree. And well, it all rhymes. Suyog and all right, come on, drive safe.
Drive safe. I mean, it's just a little bit of fun between teammates, I guess, right there. But still, I think Vibes, again, in a very decent spot. A little bit further away from the circle, but I think based on how the situation is looking right now with the number of teams remaining and the number of lads as well, I think if Vibes, they keep moving at this pace, they will be quite comfortable once they enter, but it's still going to be quite tricky for them to find some safe cover. So they will have to survive out in the open for a little bit before they find those compounds for themselves to hide in and to make a stronghold. But I guess the other option is just initiate a fight mid-rotation, because Steel Shot gets caught off guard. Quite an easy knock for Vibe to secure. And I think they might just go for the finish as well. But Ale is here protecting his teammate, not allowing the finish for a little bit. But this decision of giving away his position might backfire. But no, there's a third party. ElementriX is here, Ocean.
Oh my god, so much for just moving around. Look at that! Alibu taking down Joker. He could not even blink his eyes as he was taken down. And right now, Jiggle will be taken down as well. The fights are definitely taking a serious toll in all of these situations. As Dictator just, trying to go for a revive. And the smoke would definitely just arrive on him. Venom Legends is just, definitely enjoying all these situations. Also, Seal Shot, he will be revived. He needs to heal. Rafat as well needs to go for one first aid onto himself. 30 seconds on the clock, and then the circle's going to move around and around again and again. 7C onto the back lines right now. They'll have to move out as well. The circle will punish these players as this is the fourth one, and the transition will happen for the fifth zone. Suzanne on the other side trying to take down a few players. Deadeyes Guys in a bit of a pickle situation as the players have been taken down. Snipe White, he can take another one, although he needs to heal as well. His HP is low, but now the zone shift will come in handy.
Look at the shift though. How do you tackle that? There's like 70%, not 70, like 60% water in the circle right now. There's not enough area for these lads to step on and, well, stand upon to take these fights. Seal Esports, Wally is down on his knees again, and Deadeyes Guys right behind them. Leo, he's trying to use a first aid. His armor is all shot up, but Chari will be able to secure the kill of Wally right there. 15 teams, 47 players remaining right now, as Mafia Ninja is going to be a casualty to the lads of T2K. Esports Cleo still in the struggle against Deadeyes Guys, but IHC, they're going to find Snipe White. He was trying to snipe them for shots. Well, he was using an assault rifle to shoot them down as they were charging towards that shack, but nothing is going to happen. Snipe in turn gets taken out, and his teammates are too far away for them to back him up. So quite an easy elimination point right there for IHC, and it's going to be quite interesting to see what the next move from JyanMaara is going to be, because Gunner is out. It's just No Fear and Susan remaining. Gunner has been revived, but still moving forward, moving towards the circle. It's not going to be easy. And, well, what do you know? Vibes, they get eliminated.
1952, and then Vibes follow up as well. We are down to 14 teams, 42 players. Three times the number of teams are alive right now. Godless on the other side taking down a few players as well as Gunnar goes down from JyanMaara, and now Leo thinks he has spotted someone. Well, he has, but he's not taking any shots, maybe just going for the enemies ahead. But now he's just taking up a few shots as Sus is on low HP, but well, they have spotted him down as well. Peekaboo, they have done it. And now Hyozu on the other side is trying to take down a few players as a Skarl will need to reload. Definitely just as 18 bullets, it might just not come in handy, so he'll go for the reload in the situation. ElementriX's players are in a bit of a pickle situation as they will be taken down one by one. Leo with that Grenadier title onto himself. 40 players alive, and the circle, well, it has its own weird story just to tell.
Well, definitely. The circle has been very weird up until now, and I mean, there's a massive cluster of teams going at it towards the northwestern edge of the circle. Seal Baron from the distance finds an easy pickup and, well, sends ElementriX's hopes and dreams back to the lobby for the next game. Look at the lads from Deadeyes Guys. They're in the waters already, just trying to survive, trying to secure those placement points for themselves. And I think while all this chaos is happening, DRS have silently taken control of the corner houses close to the Nova Reproy Bridge. They're the safest team right now.
Oh, this zone. And look at this again. Stalwart has the circle. I told you, if everything goes according to plan, they might just be a really happy team. And as of now, they are a really happy team. Godless, Icy on the other side is trying to find out a few players. And Top, well, he has that fishing rod for himself. He wants to go out for a swim around that area so that he could just, take down a few fishes with himself. And he's just trying, although right now Stalwart does not have a single kill. On the other side, Icy is trying to get down a few kills for himself, but well, he will be. He will be taken down in all of these situations. Zeol just going for a revive. But is it enough as they have to get inside the circle as well in less than 7 seconds?
I mean, this is going to be very intense. The only solid cover that's there inside the circle is in control of Stalwart Esports. No one can charge toward them. No one can take this fight head on. Everyone else is just trying to survive, and it's hunting season for Stalwart. They haven't secured a single elimination point for themselves yet. Trying to get on top. Skylightz Gaming on the other side taking an exit from the match. Seal Esports have decided to go for a swim as well, and DRS Delta is going to secure a grenade elimination. Oh, Sanchez, quite unfortunate, just getting traced inside the smoke. Alex with an easy pickup. Godless joins his teammate inside the shack, while Icy gets a revive in the smoke out in the open. So, IHC, they have an interesting setup, but again, getting in the circle, it won't be easy for them. They have been clearly spotted out. They're still on the northwestern edge, a little bit on the outside, and I think even if you take Stalwart out of the equation, there are other teams on the shorelines.
It's definitely getting really, really, really difficult for the players here, and they're just trying to take down a few players. But, well, then again, look at the water lines. There are a lot of players who are maybe knocked down or who are maybe just, swimming around. But Steel Shot, it's not a time to have a run on the beach as he'll be taken down, as well as Top just, opens up the account for the team, taking one for himself. And now it's 2 kills in the name of the team. But Seal, they are pretty close to the players of Venom Legends. Alex will be taken down, though on the other side as Action is trying to take down one more player, and he will take one more down. Seoul just right in front. Look at that mini tap just happening, and now Seoul will have to understand that they are in a wrong fight against IHC, against Stalwart, and well, there was C2K as well. T2K Zane got the last kill.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Seal took one, T2K took one. Stalwart, they just weren't able to secure as many points as they thought from just pinning Zeus down out at C down out in the open. And look at this, the 3 lads from Seal Esports trying to see if they can survive in the water. Leo is going to be the one going down. Demo is low on HP as well. Top lines up his nade, goes for a toss, but will this nade hits its marker? That is the big question right now. And look at Action. He's completely unaware of Jane's position, but the bolt action shots connecting are going to make sure that Top respects his opposition and goes back behind the cover. We are down to the top 7 teams, ladies and gentlemen. Seal Esports taking an exit. Scry taking shots from the lads of DRS. Reaper Bot finding an important knock for his team. Now, Stalwart Esports are going to be in a world of trouble as Action was also very low. He needs some time to heal up before he's coming back into these fights. And I think the final fight, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be between Phantoms, DRS, and Stalwart Esports, as the rest of the teams are lacking heavy numbers. We just saw Savage Esports going out of the game. Now Raw and Deadeyes Guys and T2K with a few individuals left. these teams are going to have to take the initiative of trying to dwindle down the numbers of the top three teams.
You saw that spray from Jane.
Yeah.
That deserves recognition, to be honest. That deserves appreciation for that lad. You know, the way he just took down one from Savage Esports. But right now, G2K, they have just two players and they'll have to be a part of the fight right now. They have 5 kills, and all of those 5 came from one individual. That is Jane. Now they have to move around the zone. That's what they are trying to do. We'll have to see if they are able to or not, as now the circle forming up. But Sandesh becomes the first man to just move around inside the circle. Jane wants to follow up as well. A nade, probably just coming up. We'll have to see if that happens or not. But Action is trying to survive as well. He needs to understand. Now he's in the open grounds. Now he's in the grounds where the other teams are actually playing, and they're playing good. But Jane will be taken down by Wex in the situation, who's just trying to move forward. One smoke, another one nade, just moving forward. Sandesh is pretty close of this player, although a good nade comes pretty close to Sandesh as well. And on the other side, Stalwart is taking up a pretty good fight as Sky goes on to the third elimination for himself. And Sandesh, the last man standing, will he be able to stand? That's the question. It's a 1-4 situation for himself, but I don't think so. He might just be out of it. And look at this, he's just sitting onto the back lines of that buggy, taking that top TPP angle as he'll take down one, but the nade just ends him.
Well, quite a brutal usage of utility, and well, guess what? We are down to the top 4, 14 players still alive. Stalwart Esports Action, part of a lot of action right now, getting shot from every single direction. Finally goes down, thrown, but still gets knocked out, and it's Trulov from Deadeyes Guys who is, well, turning the heat up. Alright, it was Rules with his nade from DRS who actually knocked out Action, and Phantom Esports from the backlines. They are trying their level best to secure a few extra points for themselves as well. All 4 players standing strong for Phantom Esports, but they only have 1 elimination point. So for them, the point of concern is they have to try and secure as many finishes, as many eliminations right now as possible, so that they don't lag anywhere when the game ends. And it looks like the circle is also in their control right now. Look at the zone on the radar. They have control of the northeastern edge of the circle, but maybe I was wrong. A stop from the rooftop is going to hand a lot of damage to Yeta. So Phantom Esports, one lad is knocked out, not finished though.
Stalwart just has one, understanding. Take down one player, you'll try and take down the team later on. One by one, they maybe what is it, like 10 minutes ago they never had even a single kill. They did not have a single kill. Now they have 11 just to talk about it. Now they are taking more and more players down as well. Look at the damage that they are dishing out, obviously on the ball and on the player simultaneously as Action takes down Split Knot. That means only one player from Phantom is surviving in all of these situations. Action on the other side is trying to look around and trying to find, if he finds someone. Phantom, one player alive. Stride taking down Slipknot. Killer on the other side is trying to take down one player from Deadeyes Guys. That is True Love. They have spotted on each other. Meanwhile, as these teams are fighting, Stalwart, they have the numbers. They might just be ready for it. Reaper War on the other side takes down one. And now, DRS versus Phantom versus Stalwart.
Well, I guess in a little while we will see Phantom Esports taking an exit as well, but Mad Max, an absolute madman, so close to Scry. I thought he had him, but Scry managed to survive. And well, it is Stalwart Esports who in an instant just wipe out the remaining players from DRS and secure the first chicken dinner of the Super Weekend, ladies and gentlemen, with 17 eliminations as well. That's a 32-point start for Stalwart Esports. And again, we somewhere in the back of our heads, Ocean knew that this might happen, but so early, I think we wouldn't expect the very first game that Stalwart Esports would walk away with a chicken.
I mean, Stalwart is
$1,000, yeah.
Stalwart has a team who got the first chicken dinner in PMGC, right?
Oh,
they definitely had that momentum, that potential straight up. And 17 eliminations, 32 total points, and $1,000 in the bag already. That's Stalwart Esports for you. And they are definitely, showcasing the same momentum for themselves. It was all around that circle, right? You saw that circle forming up. You saw that positioning. Their first, move is always from Novoripnoi, take the bridge, move to the left side, stay there for a while. They stayed there for 25 minutes because the circle was coming up there to that side.
Exactly. I think the second shift of the circle that made them just hold the compounds just south of farm, that was the game changer for them, because after that, every single shift was towards the south only. And that sort of helped them out quite a lot because they did not have to move much around inside of the game.
Yeah.
We're going to discuss a lot more about this match, ladies and gentlemen, but after this very short break. Welcome back after the break, ladies and gentlemen, to the PMPL South Asia Spring Season of 2022. This is Warren Super Johnny John, joined by Ocean Sharma. And this event, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by the Oppo F21, which is coming out in the market soon. So winner, winner, grab yourselves a chicken dinner with the Oppo F21 Pro, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see it as well during the ad breaks. But again, Ocean, what a wonderful start it has been for Stalwart Esports, as they have just secured a wonderful chicken dinner in the previous match. And let's not forget, so again, I think it was around the 19-minute marker or the 28-minute marker, somewhere around that time only, when Stalwart Esports, they had a good cover for themselves in the circle, but they had 0 eliminations. Then we time skip to the end of the match, and they have 17 eliminations all of a sudden. That is impressive.
They started off from taking down a few players on their left-hand side. I mean, it was Top in Action that started off as they were taking on players from IHC, and obviously a few players in the water lines that they were trying to take them down. And then they started off with a very good momentum. But let's have a look at the MVP, as we were talking about to this game, and it's going to be Top. Definitely just coming up with 6 eliminations, 193 damage, 8 knocks, 4 assists, 24-52 minutes of survival time. I mean, really good affair by this person. Really good affair by this lad.
I mean, definitely, this is one of the best individual performances I think we have seen as far as the 2022 season is concerned. I mean, because we're just getting started, this is just the 3rd day of the overall tournament, but still, I think Top as an individual, even in the past, has set a standard for himself. And it's either that or better. I mean, the minimum bar is set, and this is definitely one of his good performances right here. So it will be quite important to see how the rest of the lads from Stalwart Esports react to this, because, I mean, you will agree with me on this. I think that Stalwart Esports, they have their own internal thing happening as well. You can see this in the list of the top players. The entire team is present. I'm pretty sure Action is going to try and topple Top over from the top performers after this game is done.
Yeah. Look at how red this top 5 players' list is, right? Top, Try, Pick, Ajay, Action, and it's like Stalwart has all their players playing. So it's like what? An MVP team overall? Well, they can surely call them. I mean, you can count all their entire eliminations on this board only. Meanwhile, Jane is there with 769 damage and 5 eliminations as well, 25 plus minutes of survival time, almost coming down to 22. But all the other players, 6, 5, 3, 3. Very good performance coming down from Stalwart, and that definitely shows that they were worthy of that win. And talking about the first and second team right now, look at the point difference though that just arrived, right? DRS, they only had 2 eliminations, but all they got is the other placement points for
Yeah.
themselves. And obviously they had lost down a few players here and there. That just makes a huge difference as well. Look at the damage dealt versus damage received of DRS, right? The damage dealt is higher than the damage received of Stalwart, which is 612.
I think DRS's strategy right now is quite easy to spot out in the sense that even in the game when we saw them take control of the Milta city, and then we saw the second shift of the circle towards the south, towards the Nova Repnoy bridge, DRS, they did not move at all. Their intentions were pretty clear. They wanted to secure those placement points first and then worry about the elimination points. And this time, I think by the time they got to the part where eliminations point became important, DRS, they had lost a few key players on their side, and that is why they weren't really able to take those fights properly. But still, I think a 14-point start in the first game is not that bad. I mean, in comparison, if you compare them to Stalwart Esports, of course, there's a massive difference. But if DRS managed to be consistent for the rest of the day, I think these 14 points can definitely keep them in the top 2, even in the top 3 at the end of the day, if they somehow manage to keep getting like somewhere around 10 to 11 points plus every single match.
That is correct. That is correct. And this match somebody also just showcases the way. In fact, it has been top affair on the eliminations only, an action affair overall. 305 is the longest distance elimination. I mean, the lad was using a mini.
Yeah, and the staff shots on the lads of IHC,
they were definitely good.
Brutal. I mean, Godless is quite lucky that he managed to survive that, but I mean, not lucky enough to just stay alive till the end because he was taken out a few seconds earlier. But yeah, the rankings, not just for the match, but kind of the overall rankings right now, because there are just 16 teams and it has only been one game. DRS, they're going to be second. Stalwart Esports on the first. Deadeyes Guys not too far behind on the third with 14 points.
32 and 14.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a gap right there, but I think it can be covered up. And as I was saying, Deadeyes Guys, 12 points to their name. T2K is going to be there with 11, tied up with Phantom Esports, who actually did quite well for themselves in the sense that they survived for so long between chaos.
Yeah, definitely. That just comes down out here. 7C ElementriX vibes. They will have to just get back onto their own momentum if we just talk about it, and they will try to have a good, fair affair of their own momentum, and they'll have to take it.
Yeah.
They'll have to take it, right? Because right now, 13, 14, 15, 16. Even if you're at the lower ground, only one game just has ended. You have more. You can just move forward with those more games, and what you can do is get those points if you get the chicken dinner, and also get those numbers going up as well.
Yeah.
In terms of the money that you're gonna get.
Exactly, because Stalwart Esports, they've already done it. They've secured good number of elimination point, good number of chicken dinner. That's the first one right now. So 32-point advantage plus $1,000 advantage against the rest of the lobby. But ladies and gentlemen, let's also have a look at the open moments of this match and relive the action once again, because this was quite intense. I mean, the start was a little bit slow because the circle was smack in the center of the map, but the second shift of the circle changed everything.
Yeah, that shift definitely happened. Look at this. This was the first fight that happened between these two teams, Raw and 1950, out of which 1950 was the first one to get eliminated, although they just got one elimination, not more. And that just, created a lot of difference. And well, Kazi, imagine had Kazi messed up, situations would have been different though. But well, that exactly did not happen. On the other side, so many open fights were also happening in these kind of zones, these kind of situations, and that definitely created lots and lots of kerfuffles.
I mean, definitely, but I think this was quite interesting right there, because Venom Legends, I thought after Steel Shot was caught off guard, I thought they weren't going to be able to recover, but Ali just coming in right in the nick of time as the savior for Venom Legends and dragging them out of perdition was, I think, one of the best things that could have happened for them in this first match. And then there's Stalwart Esports and action with the Mini 14. Just look at the shots. Zeol, I think... him surviving was a pretty big deal, but then the spam shots inside the smoke, and I think Jane Action just got pretty mad after that because 2 of their points were stolen in that fight, and I think hence we saw them secure the chicken dinner, because they were very angry. Like, how dare anyone take our kills, especially Stalwart Esports? I mean, weren't didn't you have enough getting the first position in the league stages? I guess that's what Stalwart Esports was thinking. And this was a very impressive game. Mad Max, a little bit of a blunder right here, because had he taken out Scry, then DRS would have had some breathing room at least to recover, to try and go for the revives and step back into those squad fights, but that did not happen.
Whoa. Oh. 3-3-7-6 just coming up now with those 17 eliminations that the team has. And look at the other ones. Obviously, they were trying, but they were not exactly at that level right now in this game.
Yeah. I think while everyone else was just wondering, all right, we'll try and figure out what the other teams are going to do, Stalwart Esports was like, you guys do that, we'll just do our own thing, just start strong right off the bat. And again, this is the kind of performance that we expected. Stalwart Esports have delivered. I'm not that surprised from them, but now the surprise or the point of concern right now becomes for the other big names. Where is Skylightz Gaming? Where is DRS going to be after the next match? Where is IHC taking an early exit in this game? The next map is going to be very important for the lads. It's going to be a slow one as well. So I think high priority on going for those placement points in the early stages. We're going to see major fights happening after the 20-minute marker or something. Who knows?
But then again, we'll see a lot of long-range battles as well. A few bolt actions just coming into the equations as well. We know how much we love to see that AWM just coming up onto that game, and that definitely can create a lot of difference as of now. But well, again, we'll talk about those things once the match definitely starts up. But right now, let's have a look at the schedule. Just confirm the conformity of. The conformance of that map that's just come up in front of us. So yeah, let's have a look at the schedule. Just like yeah, I know, but then again, well, Miramar is the map.
Yeah, Miramar is the next map, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we're talking about tongue twisters. Well, Miramar is something that will twist your brain, because it's quite interesting how the teams have been rotating these days on this particular map. I mean, we have seen almost every single team go for super wide rotations or just try and take it slow unless they are going to be right in the middle of the center of the circle. That's when we see them be a little bit more proactive to try and punish the teams that are stuck in those awkward positions, just using those rocks and those ridges as covers. And I think that makes it really interesting on Miramar to see and watch and observe the teams and try and figure out, all right, what are they going to do? How are they going to get themselves out of this situation? Because that is the worst possible situation that you could be in on Miramar is in a high ground versus high ground fight where you don't have proper cover, because you're making a lot of noise in an extended fight. You're getting spotted out. And the problem with the high ground advantage, the moment it backfires, is when you have to deal with a lot of teams at the same time. That is very difficult to pull off. We have only ever seen like one or two teams be able to do that quite nicely. And apart from that, I think rest of the teams, I think ElementriX and Savage Esports, there's a lot more that could have been done from these teams, including T2K as well. I think the over-aggression needs to be toned down a little bit by them. And I think T2K, they are also doing a phenomenal job in the matches till now.
Yeah, they definitely have been doing a phenomenal job in the matches till now. But then again, we always have to look for the future.
Yes.
And it all just comes down to how much your opponents are reading it. Because I'm pretty sure as soon as something happens, once the day ends, right, everyone is going to go back to their drawing boards and will try and understand all the Erangels, first things first, that are happening. Maybe they'll just try and understand Stalwart's rotations as for how they are moving. Maybe they'll just try and understand Skylight's rotation as for how they were moving from around the zone and trying to come inside the circle. And think about this, right? A team that was so dominating in the league days is they are there, but they're not exactly there right from the beginning. They might just come in onto the second game. Maybe Skylightz wins the second game. Maybe DRS wins the second game. Maybe United just comes in and swoops the second game. It obviously just depends. But then again, the most important thing is how good is their game style on this map of Miramar when it all matters. That is the Super Weekend.
Yeah. I mean, every single game is very important, and you have to make sure that you capitalize on every single map. This is the first Miramar of the Super Weekend, ladies and gentlemen, of the first Super Weekend. So again, during the league play stages, I think the first two Miramars that were played on day one is where every one of these teams were very serious. They were trying to secure as many points as possible. Day number two, the top performing teams had already decided, all right, it's time for us to chill. We have done enough. 100 points in one day is, I think, more than enough, more than sufficient for them to qualify, and they in fact did do that quite comfortably. But again, jumping into match number 2, ladies and gentlemen, and this time I think there is definitely going to be quite a lot of interesting drops from the teams, especially considering the plane path leans slightly towards the west, a little bit off center though, starting from the south, heading up north towards La Cobriera from Los Higos. And again, any sort of teams that do like to go towards those eastern edge drop locations, be it towards Impala, be it El Azhar, they are going to be in a little bit of a pickle situation, but not too much. I think you can still drop, pick up a vehicle, and easily rotate.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see how the rotations and all that happen. Right now, first things first, going to be the circle. That's where the circle forms up, and how these teams are definitely, just going to go for those zones. As definitely, Miramar is kind of a map where zone sometimes just doesn't favor you. It just doesn't, go for those rotations. You'll have to go for those tricky rotations sometimes. And right now, every team has just been out of this. This area, and now they'll definitely just try and move forward for themselves. If we just talk about it, and the situations are not that good because this isn't a central circle. So if the teams would just want to move around of some teams, suppose if it's JyanMaara, right, they want to go to the center of the zone. For them, it would be really, really difficult. They can move from the right hand side, but then again, once they enter that highly populated area, well, things might just not be good.
Well, things are definitely going to be quite tricky for them to improve upon, but let's see. I mean, for now, I think the main cluster that everyone needs to worry about is towards that San Martin, Hacienda del Patron. As you pointed out, a lot of big names present: DRS, Stalwart Esports, ElementriX, JyanMaara, quite close to each other. But look at this, Venom Legends, Ale trying to dodge the vehicle from the lads of 1952. And I think, again, even C-Wine is going to be just keeping Ale close to the tree as possible. I think the call out should be given to both the teams. It should have been gone out a little while earlier that, all right, isolated man has been spotted. If you have weapons, just try and rotate as soon as possible. And there are the gunshots right there. Oh, he's going to get in his vehicle and see why.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, he tried to take him to his team, but that won't even be needed, as there's the knock, there's the finish. First casualty of the match, ladies and gentlemen, within the first 3 minutes.
Nightmare. That's what it is. And now Steel Shot is sitting around, as he will be spotted down as well by Evil Eye. Rafat on the other side. If Steel Shot goes down, Rafat is the next victim, 100%. Although Steel Shot's just down not to what, 5 HP, 10 HP. I know it's just the red HP on him. So, yeah. But Evil Eye, this lad, he's hell-bent on to just, try and take down a few players. Rafat is just sitting 100%. He's just, trying to take that top TPP angle and is trying to see where Evil Eye is. He won't move at all, but Evil Eye has an evil spy with him, and his name is Entry, as he would want to mark the exit for the players of Venom Legends right now.
Well, let's see. Evil Eye is going to be there, but Steel Shot, he is waiting. I think, all right, he sees the head right there. Still not trying to go for a shot, though. And this is going to be quite interesting from Dictator, as Seal Wally can be caught off guard, but Dictator, he's standing there empty-handed, doesn't even have a weapon out. And Wally is just running around here and there, right on the top of his head. Well, 1952, they are done waiting. They're just going for a charge on Steel Shot. They just want to get this over with as soon as possible. They know they have the advantage, and they're trying to press it as hard as they can right now. Rafat is split up. Steel Shot is in one direction, and then Dictator, we saw him pinned down by the lads of Seal, so he can't move. He can't be a part of the action. This is very bad for Venom Legends.
Seal definitely is not trying to go for it now. They're like, they don't care which team is which. They're just going for the fight, all right? They only care for the chaos. They only are here for the chaos, and they'll try and take all the players down in the situation. Entry on the other side. 7C again, like, more and more teams are coming in for this one. What is this? Is it a party that I'm not invited to? Everyone wants an invitation of this now.
Well, everyone is looking to join this party. Everyone is here already. And Venom Legends still trying to survive, still wanting to stay. And, well, I think they don't want to be left out of their situation. 7C from the high ground, trying to see if they can at least give Wally a run for his money. But steel shot over there finds an opening. CY knocked out. 1952. The advantage that they have can be snatched away in an instant. But 90 degree, he's going to be there with the M249. The machine gun, I think, can definitely deliver a lot of action. But Jukega nahi. Oh no, almost getting taken out already.
Just surviving on low HP. We're talking about Jivan Crazy. You see him pretty close to see Wally, although Wally, it looks like he doesn't understand, doesn't know, doesn't even bother of where he's just, moving for. Although Jukegan is on very, very low HP, and Baron onto the back lines right now. Seal just, wants to move forward. 7C onto the low ground. Seal just, trying to get the highest of the grounds for themselves as Wally is moving forward with that M16 in his hands. Puts down the smoke, just going for a fake bait. And now he's moving on to the other side. He spots down one player. 3 shots is what it needs with that M16. Just one given and delivered as Jukega Nahi will be forced out of the fight. And now Dictator on the other side just trying to look around to the areas of the players of 1952. And steel shot is here as well. One more shot by Leo as entry goes down. And Baron, look at Crazy. Are you crazy? Take the shot. Take that flipping shot.
That's right on his head. Had it been a bolt action,
come on!
Oh, he's been
Take that shot! Crazy! Oh.
How does he not react to going down like that?
That throw of this PMPL is as historic as the moon landing in the world history.
Oh, man. I mean, I would have broken something right there.
You had one job!
And while some players resist taking the shots that they have set up quite nicely for themselves, here we have, ladies and gentlemen, a wild team, Seal Esports, that just does not care at all, just charging in towards the lad of 1952. And Evil Eye getting burned alive and shot at as well. Does not care with a single HP. Finds the knock. And even though he won't be able to convert it to quite a lot for his team, 1952, Evil Eye still, I mean, that is respectable performance right there. The impressive knock being secured. Although they have been eliminated, Venom Legends, I think, will still try to see if they can use the distraction that was caused by Seal Esports to their advantage and try and disengage from this entire fiasco. I think the best option for them is to just back away or back off all the way towards Impala, loot again, try and see if they can get weapon upgrades or just recover some of the armor that they have lost on themselves, get fresh armor, get fresh helmets, and then be a part of the action in the late game stages. Because now with just 2 players surviving, they won't be able to take those fights either against 7C or even against Seal Esports. Seal Esports has the numbers, and 7C, they have the high ground.
JyanMaara, Skylightz onto the northern side right now. Water treatment areas, Cruiserwell areas, like those are the areas where these teams are. But look at the central cluster as it is forming. T2K, DRS, ElementriX, Stalwart, Raw. Obviously, they are quite far away from each other, but with those markers, you see like they are still in quite a vicinity as right now. Liquid can spot down a few players from IHC. Has an M4, definitely would want to make up a proper use of that. He knows that there are players quite close to him, and now we'll see where the circles shift happens as it's just around the corner. We see the zone just going down to the central lines of Minas Generales, La Benedita Graveyard, where T2K is. But Liquid, I mean, he'll have to take down these players from IHC if they want to move forward. Otherwise, IHC they'll come back for a fight.
Well, they will definitely be back for the action, and I think when they return, everyone else, they better be worried, because IHC, I think they're going to be quite focused on securing the chicken dinner in this match. They would like to close the gap against Stalwart as soon as possible. ElementriX on our screens right now, all 4 players standing quite strong. They do have one more team quite close to them, but as long as they have the high ground, I think they can still be happy.
Please don't. What is it, spectating with the 3x scope? What is it, spectating with the 3x scope?
I think he, for a second, just forgot, like, all right.
Where's the shoot button?
Yeah.
No, come on. But well, all these things do happen. It's sometimes a pressure situation. You're thinking like, you want to see all the other players as well. These things happen. Definitely they happen here and there. But then again, The airdrop number 1 has AUG with level 3, helmet level 3, vest level 3, backpack. Those are just complimentary things, just a cheek pad of snipers, and obviously 60 bullets of 5.56.
Ooh. For a second, every time I see the AUG, I just keep wishing the old Godless comes back.
AU Godless. Yeah, we remember those players just, in the early times
Yeah.
and in the early situations as and from no chance, from hell. Like Godless has had his share of amazing gameplays in those teams as well, and we have just loved his gameplay,
Yeah.
be it whatever the situation is. Right now, we see True Love just moving forward here and there as he's trying to spot down someone. I feel so, but the players that it looks like there are players like pretty close to him as well. There are players pretty close to Deadeyes Guys, but we'll have to see if they engage in a fight or not.
I mean, definitely. Right now, I think Deadeyes guys, since they have safe haven secured, they won't try and engage a fight from their side. If the other team starts shooting first, then Deadeyes guys, they might react to that, but they won't be the ones firing the first shot unless the opposition is out in the open. Because at that point, I mean, you just can't ignore it, right? Although Savage Esports, this rotation might just backfire. Look at the distance between Hustler and the rest of his teammate, and Malik, he's just holding his ground behind cover. Has he been spotted out? I don't think so. I think Hustler just came to the ridge and then just backed off completely. But Eisenberg has joined his teammate now. Malik with a frag grenade in his hand decides not to toss it, switches attention to Hershey in the bus, almost finding the knock. And well, he will be able to secure the knock as the final shot does connect.
Wow, it definitely does now. Vibes players, they'll have to just understand that they have taken down one major lead. Now they'll just have to take down the other places. But it looks like Eisenberg has some other things in his mind. No, he's just sat in that vehicle. Now it's Hustler that's just moving from around the zone to get to that side for himself. And right now the circle shift's gonna happen. Definitely that's gonna be important circle shift. As look at Venom Legends players, they are on the sides of Impala though in all these situations. And T2K split is pretty good. I mean, 2 players on one side, 2 players on the other, but the circle moves down to Manaz General, just like we were talking. And now Phantom is there, and pretty close to them are the players from Team Seal.
Well, let's see. The circle towards... I mean, it is going to be quite interesting to see how the rest of the teams react now. I think, again, vibes on our screens jiggle. One of those lads again that we consider to be a veteran now. I mean, has been quite consistent over the years, but not really any major results to back that up. Phantom Esports yet are going over the ridge. Does see the lads from Seal Esports rotate, I believe, but won't be firing those shots anytime soon. I think Phantom Esports, they find themselves in a very interesting position wherein they know they're about to be surrounded from every single direction, but they do have some decent cover that they can utilize at least to isolate themselves from one direction, that's their front, where they can deny those fights to the other team. So they will only have to clear their backs. And if they can manage to do that, I think they can survive for a little bit longer. But Seal Esports, always trying to contest the center this time as well.
Yeah, they will try. They would want to just go to the central position as quickly as they can. Look at this; they are at that position, and it's every time scenario with this team, right? They like to have a good, comfortable spot, and I would say it's not just this team. The Mongolian region likes to play in that sense. First of all, they like to go for a slower pace around the circle. If they find a good place, then they would like to stay at that place. They would like to defend that marker. That's kind of their play style that they just like to go for. Wexy on the other side has an M24, again a brilliant weapon as we just call it, and would want to make a full utilization of that weapon. That's what he would want to go for. 53 alive, 15 players still surviving. Everyone's trying to spot down their other counterpart teams, and we are down to almost 15-minute marker as well in the game. Definitely players would want to just go for a good situation for themselves. They would want to go for a good area around the zone, but looks like Savage's players, what are they doing? Come on, what are they doing?
Oh.
Hustler, no,
I think that has to be the easiest elimination secured by Baron, because he was able to knock him down and then dish out extra damage on that knockdown HP
But I believe he did
in a
not secure
single
it.
spray.
I believe he did not secure it. He did do quite some damage, but the
Yeah.
last bullet that he wanted to go for was actually did not hit him. And it looks like he just, went out like that only. But,
Man,
time to
then I think that has to be unfortunate for Baron.
And look at how savage his players, they are not in a good situation now. One side there was one team and it was Seal, and on the other side it's Deadeyes Guys. Eisenberg, oh, he is in a bad situation now. He cannot do anything. I'm pretty sure he cannot.
Well, let's see. I mean, as you said, I mean, there's not much left to do. Just completely isolated. Unless the Deadeyes Guys, lads, they just back away and they don't even notice him. I think that's the only way he survives this. If he tries to force the fight, it's already a 1v4 basically against the lads of Deadeyes Guys right in front of him. It won't be an easy fight for him to survive. And plus, there's the boys from DRS on the low ground as well. So, True Love, again, I think it is going to be quite interesting to see how Deadeyes Guys' approach is going to look like. But look at 7C taking down the lads of Skylightz Gaming. AJ is going to be the first knock. Eisenberg initiating. What a surprise. Does dish out significant damage, but takes a lot of it in return as well. Only one first aid on him, and he's using it right now. 5 bandages, three energy drinks left, and even with a scar, I don't think there's much that he can accomplish. It's basically a 1v4 that he has to handle right now, as Hershey is trying to make his way to the high ground. But it will still be a 2v4, or nay, it will be a 2v8, because DRS are hearing all this noise and they would love to secure those extra points.
Get the last car, Hershey. Get the last car, as the cars was just, moving down quite close to him, as True Love is, trying to find out his own place. But Hershey, his helmet's damaged. DRS on the other side. Like, every team is trying to get a hold of their own fights for themselves. But will they be able to? That's just the only question in all of these situations, as Reaper is on the other side, and Shifu, well, he's just trying as well, just, survive as much as he can. And Delta with that nade of his own self, Reaper with the nade of his own self. They're trying to cook it, they're trying to throw it. But then again, will it be able to connect? That's the question. Golden Mirado pretty close of DRS players. But then again, now they have to make up a priority. Zone or the fights?
I mean, definitely zone or the fights. I think for DRS, it has to go towards the zone, because even in the last game, the performance that they wanted wasn't there. This time, they need to make sure that they compensate for the points that they missed out. Although, as guys, you just can't avoid them. They are literally standing like a wall in front of DRS and the control of the circle. Although DRS is just inching their way inside the edge, so even if the fight keeps on getting extended, no one goes down from either of these two teams. DRS will have those extra few seconds to survive. JyanMaara on the other side can't say the same about them, because I just saw T2K and Stalwart Esports going up against them. But and yeah, they have been eliminated. In fact, as they got third partied, but and weren't able to survive the action. Skylightz Gaming saw them on the kill feed as well on the elimination
Look at this!
They were doing so well for themselves, and it is Skylightz Gaming in the crosshairs of T2K.
Whoa.
Now. Raw has taken an exit from this game by the hands of Skylightz Gaming. Action getting an airdrop upgrade for himself, so he's going to be more deadly going into the late game stages.
You just saw the situation, right? Almost T2K was trying to just take down a few players from Skylightz as well. But right now, Deadeyes Guys is trying to go against DRS as Delta is down. Reaper will have to take down a few fights on for himself, as DE is trying to move on DRS. But what's going to happen? That's the question. As in less than 35 seconds, the players are going to just, try to prioritize the circle. Fifth circle is on our hands, so they need to go for the revives as soon as they can. But where is Reaper looking, as he will be going down by Chari? And now True Love, he's also trying to move on to his own vehicle and will try to move forward. Meanwhile, 7C, they get eliminated on 13th spot for themselves. True Love is trying to move forward as well. Now that vehicle just moving forward, is go for the finish, but no! finish is not happening as Delta will go for a full medkit. He has spotted down one or two players on different sides. Now Savage onto the backlines as well. DRS, they're trying to understand which team, which duo in fact is onto the backlines. But now Chari, he's trying to move forward. He'll be spotted down by the players. On the other side, that is from Seal, as now Mongolians are trying to be a part of all the fights from the edge of the circle. But Deadeyes guys, well, another one bites the dust.
Well, another one bites the dust, and well, they are not going to be alone for a long time because they are going to be joined by the rest of the lads as IHC is charging towards the lads of Phantom Esports. Alex, you know he sees you and he knows you see him as well. I think both the lads are just waiting to finding the opportunity, and Alex, I think he was just the distraction because his teammates from the backlines do find the knock. Alex goes for the finish. Phantom Esports, their numbers are being cut down slowly and steadily. Wexy, look at him. He is isolated on the first floor of that house. Slipknot might be able to provide some cover with a little bit of utility, but Wexy is already super low, and there is no stopping IHC to go for this push. God, let's look at him lining up the utility.
What?
His teammates are just causing distraction. Alex going for a duel, dishes out more damage to Wexy. He tries to run away. A few shots in the back, and he's going to be out, but jumps out the window and on to safety. The boosters are running. Alex manages to survive for a few extra seconds, but that's going to be it as the third party is going to happen. Savage Esports time in from the other side. Phantom Esports, Slipknot is out as well. And it's just one lad, Wexy, the last player surviving for the teams, runs to the first floor, tries to go for the fight, takes the damage, and is going to be knocked out back to the lobby.
Phantom, they tried to have a good fight, but they could not. Meanwhile, these two lads from Savage, they refuse to go down. Still, they are being a part of the fight for themselves. Look at the nade. All right, just, saying no to the nade. But now Hershey, that was a good setup, though. But Hershey's the last one surviving. All scrutiny understands there's someone just coming from the backline. He's trying to dish out damage, but from both sides, the situation was not good as IHC, meanwhile, is still surviving. They lost Alex. Zul is down. The revival happened. The smokes are just coming up, but from the backlines, it is a Team Seal that wants to be a part of all the fights as Baron takes one down, but he gets one for himself. That's karma for you, my friend.
Well, that is karma right there, but I think it is not going to worry the team too much. I mean, Seal Esports, look at them, 11 eliminations secured again. Stalwart Esports quite close on 6 eliminations right now, and 22-minute marker is here, ladies and gentlemen. 8 teams remaining, 21 players still alive in this match. Venom Legends, Rafat with the M249 in his hands is going to try and see if he can use this well, very deadly weapon against the lads of Stalwart Esports, and will this be the thing that can stop them in their tracks? Action on the other side has the ghillie suit on him for the desert, of course, and knows where Sandesh is. I think with the way he plays his crosshair, the spidey sense is tingling. They know they can be backstabbed at any time. No! Oh, that was awkward. That was very awkward.
That was definitely awkward. Now look at this. Both the players are trying to go for the nades for themselves, but it looks like Dictator still is thinking that the player is on the other side. But now the circle's closing in as well, and Dictator needs to just move out of this place. He needs to get inside the circle. Not a lot though, but still has to move. Sandesh will be taken down by that nade, and now Joker. It looks like he has the ball in his court, as Dictator will be outside the zone. He'll have to move around, or maybe just, if he does not want to give his elimination point, he'll just stay outside the circle. Will just, die outside the circle. But right now, Malik, it looks like he's trying to spot down a few more players, and he has spotted on. But Malik, where are you looking, my friend? Liquid has taken down to low HP, and in fact has knocked him down. Vibes is in a lot of trouble now.
Well, it was quite difficult for him to survive, but look at this. Seal Esports Baron right now on our screens, and he has a lot of utility on him. They've lost to just Wally, so 3-man strong still. Seal Esports, I think, have already done quite a lot, getting those 12 elimination points in this match earlier on. And I think from now on, even if they walk away with just 2 or 3 placement points, which I think they will already have more than that since they are in the top 7, I think they're going to be pretty happy with their finish. But the end goal is to cut the difference between them and Stalwart Esports, who are still present in this match. And if Stalwart Esports walk away with the top 3 finish in this game, I think the first day is theirs already. There's no way anyone will be able to challenge them unless they get 3 chicken dinners, of course. ElementriX getting tossed out of the game. They have been eliminated on the 6th position, so we're down to the top 5. And oh, Godless is going to be spotted out. Leo going for the shots, does not find the knock, but that can be the opening that Skylightz Gaming needed to climb up to this mountain. They're stuck on that low ground spot. They're looking for their way up. It's not going to be easy. Even they know it, and they are trying to make a push for it. While they have been completely pinned down by IHC and also Stalwart Esports, Skylightz Gaming end up getting eliminated.
Oh.
It's the 3 Mongolian teams that make it to the top 3 of Miramar,
Whoa.
ladies and gentlemen. And of course, there's Vibes as well. So managed to survive. Where are they?
They definitely have managed to. I mean, it's not a lot of players for them, but yeah, definitely they're trying. But Godless taking down one. In fact, taking down the players one by one. This Godless is what everyone wanted to see. And now Stalwart is on the other side. Seal here as well. Baron is trying to maybe find a safer spot so that where he can revive his teammates. But look at this. Vibes still surviving. Joker on the back line. Scry is pretty close to him, but Baron, the zone's damaging him. In fact, the damage of the weapon is what he'll face at the end as Top takes him down. It's a 1-on-4 situation. Vibes' Joker is there. But the worst part of the story is that he'll be taken down, and from $1,000, Stalwart doubles it up in an hour.
Yeah. Double or it was less than an hour, it was 20 minutes, and they doubled their money. In 20
From
minutes.
nothing,
basically.
they doubled it up to. From nothing, they just went to 2,000 in an hour or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it is just impressive. So, started off with nothing. Now they have $2,000, a hat trick opportunity, and of course, if they get the chicken in the third game, that's going to be $3,000 for Stalwart Esports. So, after the races, I just want to see how many eliminations they had in this game. Already, they had 12 eliminations in this match. So, 27 points secured from this one. There was 32 already on that. I think Ocean wants the tally now after 2 games.
I don't know, man. They are at the topmost position. Definitely, they have what 27 points in this one. So they got
Yes.
what is it?
I think
62
59
points?
in total.
Oh yeah, 32 is what they had, right?
Yeah.
Previously, I know I thought 30, 35 somehow. 32 and 20. Yeah, it is 59, and that's just pretty good, just going on for themselves. Imagine the amount of lead that they have.
I mean, this is just the second game. If things keep on going like this, I think we'll already have Stalwart Esports hitting almost 100, 110 by the end of the day. And I think someone needs to remind them that they have 5 matches, not just 4, just like the league play days. Because I believe the way they are playing, they think they are just going to be playing 4 games right now. So, yeah, Stalwart Esports looking pretty deadly. But we'll be taking a very short break right now. And after that, we'll be breaking down this match. I mean, one party is happening over here, the other party that we just saw, it looks like super fun as well. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the PMPL South Asia Spring Season of 2022, brought to you by with the sponsors Oppo F21 Pro, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be out in the markets soon. So, winner, chicken dinner. Grab yourselves a chicken dinner as well with the Oppo F21 Pro. And again, I mean, 2 matches done. Can you guess? I mean, for the viewers tuning in right now, who do you think? If I tell you one winner, you will you try to predict who the winner for the second match was? The first match was won by Stalwart Esports. Now, guess who won the second match? Well, the answer is Stalwart Esports again. So, Ocean, based on the pattern, you are the mathematician, the scientist amongst us. So, who do you think will win the third game? It's Erangel again.
Let's have a look at the MVP first. We'll talk about that because I want to see if Top is still the MVP or if someone else just went on to being the MVP of this game. That's my question as well. If we
I
just
think it's going to
talk
be
about.
action.
So well, let's see. Let's
Yeah.
have a look at the MVP. It's coming up right on our screens right now, and this time it's Baron from Seal. Coming down with 6 eliminations, 7 knocks, 2 assists, 24-18 survival time, 12-17 damage. Well, Seal tried to seal the deal, but we know Stalwart, well, they had a different level of their own gameplay, and they just played amazingly.
So I think again, so apologies from my side because I think we were so mesmerized by the fact that right off the bat, Stalwart Esports has secured 2 back-to-back chicken dinners that we totally forgot that Seal Esports in this match, they were fragging out of their minds. I think before they went out, they already had like 13 plus eliminations secured in this match, and again, the 3 Mongolian Titans that are here, IHC, Stalwart, and Seal Esports are firing on all cylinders in the matches they're playing. Action does seem to have taken over top in the top players list as well with his 6 eliminations and more damage and survival time. Not survival time, but more damage being dished out. Top with just 4 eliminations is going to be stuck on the third. Skylightz Gaming, I think Gyalzen and the lads from Skylightz Gaming, they were just unfortunate in the fact that their rotation was delayed so much that by the time they made it to the top 4, they were just stuck on that cliffside underneath the hill and were completely pinned down by Stalwart Esports and IHC at the same time. Both of them were just constantly focused in on Skylightz Gaming because they basically became the easiest team to pick on, to the easiest team to pick apart at that point. And I think that is just that was just unlucky from Skylightz Gaming. They made the best out of a worst possible situation. The kudos to them for that. But I think if they can reset themselves and 3 more matches remaining, they can definitely try and secure a good win in this match.
Look at the difference right now when it comes down to always. Last time it was some other team, and the first and second position was DRS last time. And look at the amount of damage received, damage dealt ratios that are changing up in the first and the second team. That showcases that the team on second is trying to survive more or less, but the team on first is trying to dominate. And well, Stalwart has done that in the last 2 games. 24-09, 22-09. That's the average survival time coming down for both teams. That's a 2-minute marker difference, and that difference costs a 12-point gap in this game between both of the teams. Elimination difference, 12 eliminations coming down against 3. So Stalwart, in both the games, they've had a decent number of elimination points for themselves, but they're not here in the match summary right now because, well, this match was dominated by Seal, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, it was Seal Esports just dominating the game from the start to the end. And as you did mention, I mean, the lads from Stalwart Esports, I think they also we do see action top every single. I think just the longest distance elimination is where they are missing. But apart from that, everywhere else, the lads are going to be present. Although, I mean, as we were talking about Vibes as well when we saw the comparison of the team on the first and the second position. And I think Vibes Joker, I think, played this game to the end in the smartest way he could have, because he was the sole survivor for the team of Vibes, and had he even just decided to deprone and be back on his feet, he would have been finished off. There were 4 full teams fighting it out, and he did not want any part of that chaos, stayed alive till the very end, then just gave away his pick to Stalwart Esports lying on the floor like, all right, I know I can't do much, you guys take this one, I'm out. I have secured those 12 placement points for my team, which are going to be important in the end. But again, I think Seal Esports, look at that, 13 eliminations, 23 points secured, just 4 points shy of where Stalwart Esports were.
Oh, 27-23. Seal definitely had a good point start in this one. And look at the top 3 teams coming down from Mongolia. Then there was the Vibe, Skylightz, Savage as well. ElementriX is trying to have a good marker. But I want to see the overall standings. I'm pretty sure we'll see that really, really soon. I want to see the overall standings to just understand where and with how much gap is this team sitting. Because I'm pretty sure these numbers, I mean, now for them, they're just playing around.
I mean, yeah, the numbers are going to start to add up, and I think Stalwart Esports is not playing around right now. I think right now they're just getting started. We know they like to get leads for themselves earlier on during the week, and then just relax a little towards the ending stages. I think that's the plan right here for Stalwart Esports. But Ocean, again, we talked about the circle shift in this game, and they were quite interesting, just leading the players towards La Benedita slowly and steadily, and that is where I think majority of the teams got into trouble. Because look at the teams that capitalized in this game in the late game stages, and you see all of them quite away from the early fights. I mean, you see Skylightz Gaming on towards water treatment. You see Stalwart Esports towards Graveyard and San Martin just avoiding any early game action. And I think that is the thing that left them alive to late game stages. IHC as well. Look at them at Picardo. So all the top teams were just away from the center till the very end when it was needed for them to close the fights.
Definitely, all the top teams were at those areas for themselves when we talk about it. And right now, you'll see the circle shift just going down to the areas of Manar General as La Benedita. And this is such an open area to play around if you're at the higher ground, right? If you're at the lower ground, well, you're done for, definitely, because everyone's just looking in your direction. But if you're at the high ground, you have such an open space to just play around. And teams definitely tried. But look at Seal's position right now in this situation where they are. They were trying to look onto the back lines of the zone where we saw the fights happening between Savage, DE, DRS, and that's where they were trying to just go for good fights. Right now, Skylightz had a really good area around the circle for themselves, but then Stalwart just arrived and, well, they snatched everything away.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're pretty good at snatching away stuff, I guess. That's been their thing since the start. First, just taking the title of being the best team in South Asia away from back then Zeus Esports, and then I mean, just hopes and dreams right now are the things that they are interested in from the other teams. Because with these two impressive chicken dinners, I think the advantage that they have can't be nullified until the fifth game is done and dusted, because the rest of the teams are definitely getting left behind. Or unless I think it's one of the teams that are closest to them, that is Seal Esports or maybe IHC, can step things up and challenge them if they get two chicken dinners back to back. But let's also have a look at the Oppo moments of the previous match, the Oppo F21 Pro moments, and see the action once again. So, all right, 1952. They blundered this up very badly. This was their fight to win, but overcommitments can definitely backfire, and I think that is the lesson that 1952 need to take from this map.
I mean, all these situations, right? When all these fights, the initial fights were happening, I don't know what it just came to my mind. I don't know what is happening with 1952 right now. You saw their first fight, they were trying to go for a good fight. Second fight, again, they were trying to go for a good fight, and the players were taken down. It's like, I would say there are a few communication gaps that 1952 is facing, and well, they're indeed just bad for them. And look at this knock. This was a very precious knock by Precious, and well, the way, that lad just went down. He tried, but then, not every time he'll be able to take down the players, and that's the thing that happened. Stalwart, in fact, Action is a brilliant player. We've talked about this day in and day out, and well, he just showcases that every single moment. And top with this MK, he used it as DMR, and then he used it as a close range weapon as well later on onto the fights when he was just out there. And look at this, him using Action using MG3 as well. So think about the number of airdrops that these players just went out for.
Yeah, I mean, Action definitely, I think, gained a massive advantage as he picked up the very first airdrop from the match. And I think just utilizing that till the end game, I think, was pretty important for them. This charge from IHC was also quite questionable again, because you are surrounded from both different directions. Even though you are losing players, you need to try and see if there is an option for you to disengage and back off safely, back off to safety. Let the other two teams fight it out. Whoever is left, you can try and see if you can finish them off, secure a few extra points, or just stay back and try and go for those elimination steals right there. But still, damage histogram, and this time it's Seal Esports who have outdone themselves. 2352 total damage dished out, 13 eliminations secured.
Good numbers coming down from Seal as well. Definitely. This is the first time we are seeing a team that's a third having more number of damage stats and obviously elimination stats as compared to a chicken dinner team though. But then again, if we move further down the line, starting from maybe Savage, like hats off to Savage's way of playing, that their play style, because it was only two players. They still tried to survive. They survived for good. So yeah, savage appreciation where appreciation is due. But look at this. Wow, they. Oh
Well,
my
I mean,
god.
the difference is not as big as we thought. So yeah,
But
to be fair, I
but
think
still,
Steel Esports, yeah.
it's still perfect if you look at it, right? They have perfect placement points, they have perfect elimination points, they have perfect total points right now, which is good because their momentum is good. But top
Yeah.
three teams, that's what I'm more interested in. Top three teams are from Mongolia right now.
Exactly, and I mean the hopes and dreams of Asia, specifically Nepal, that were on Skylightz Gaming. I think just struggling a little bit. We did see them on the 7th position. DRS is the one that's closest to challenging the three Mongolian Titans right there. But again, as I was saying, so the difference between the top two is not that big. I think Seal Esports still have an opportunity if they can manage to secure the chicken dinner in the next match and get the same number of eliminations as they did in the previous one. I think they will be able to topple over Stalwart Esports, but for that to happen, Stalwart Esports again, they need to take an early exit as well. So two things need to happen at the same time. It's not easy, but the possibility is going to be there. The probability is going to be slim though. Stalwart Esports, although, and this is another point that I would like to add, with the two chicken dinners, one important thing that Stalwart Esports have done is get themselves a safety cushion, get themselves a little bit of a margin for error. So now
Yeah,
they have the opportunity. If two games do not really go their way, if they take early exit, they still
they
won't
have
be
that.
anyway outside of the top five. They will still be in the top five coming in tomorrow, and I think they can, instead of starting from square one, starting from scratch, starting from very far behind, and trying to crawl your way back in, Stalwart Esports will have a little bit of a head start, and that gives them a comfort spot to be in. And I think that relieves a lot of mental pressure from these individuals, the players and the support staff together. So things do look manageable for them, but to keep the flow going, to keep the momentum going, it won't be easy.
Yeah, but still, they have that for themselves. The momentum that there is. I mean, the next game is Erangel, definitely. I just want to see, if the circle is not to the southern side, where will they just, take themselves? That's an
Yeah.
important question for them. How will they rotate? How will they take up the fights? Because most of the times when we actually think about a hat trick, it does not happen. Sometimes someone just comes in and seals that. So I want to see if we will see that hat trick or if we won't. I want to ask the audience as well, yes or no, is the hat trick happening?
To be honest, for me, I hope it does, because that will just shake up the entire lobby, and I think the other teams are going to be forced to reassess as to, all right, now how do we try and make a comeback? Now what do we do to shut this team down? That's going to put a very big bullseye on the backs of the lads of Stalwart Esports, and also we know the history of them and the lads of IHC. Whenever Stalwart Esports starts to get too far ahead
Yeah.
in terms of the points against IHC, they do in fact like to go for those early fights against them. So maybe something like that might happen again if the hat trick is achieved. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, off to the player cams as we see the lads getting ready for the action and getting prepared once again to step into the map of Erangel. So look at the smiles on Stalwart Esports. The players are very happy. Why not?
They're loving
Action
it.
is just busy doing something else, I guess.
That's him always. Trust me. I had a podcast with him, and he was just sitting out there eating, like having his good time. Just
He's super
and,
chill.
he almost slept as well. So yeah, it was a good vibe talking with these players, to be honest. And well, guys, if you want to check that one out, it's Battle Royale podcast. That just happens. But we're talking about this game right now. We see this flight path coming down from the northern side, as we see the hill of Stalwart, and we see that Georgia Hill as well in just quite some distance. That means, Johnny, dropping down to Novorepnoy is not in the hands of the players of Stalwart. So I want to see what they do now.
I think one of the alternatives that we've seen them do is just drop towards the shelter Milta area and then travel from there, but even that won't be a possibility for them. So I think they will try and go towards the school positions, or maybe glide towards farm or the potato hills and try and approach the rotation towards Novorepnoy from there. Because there is one thing that's guaranteed, it is Stalwart Esports going to Novorepnoy. Even if the trajectory of the plane was from Kamishki to Zarki, Stalwart Esports would still go to Novorepnoy one way or the other, because that is where they like to start the game from. It's like their It's like being a little superstitious, you know. You do something, it's your good luck thing, and that results in you get having good performances. And well, if you are getting back-to-back chicken dinners, nothing can be better than that. I mean, inside the game, of course. So Stalwart Esports, let's see. What I want to see is there anyone who will stand in their way to block them? Because there are two teams that do like to play from Milta and Farm, that is 1952 and DRS. And if Stalwart Esports get delayed even a little bit, they are going to be in a world of hurt when they're trying to cross over.
Yeah, that is correct. So we'll have to see, what in fact the teams actually do in all these situations, because this is going to be really, really difficult for a few players. Although right now everyone's just trying to go down to their own areas. They're trying to go for their own loot for themselves. Finding an M4 right now, Vexy. It's a pretty good weapon. We all know about that. And on the other side, we see a UMP just being picked up. All right, again, a pretty good weapon. Nowadays, it's the meta of UMP, and everyone just likes to use it from uh, uh, what is it, GC days. We are seeing that more and more,
Yeah.
although it is a pretty good weapon even from the times before that, though. Gut guys, where team of Phantom Esports is right now, just trying to find out their own loot, and 1952, well, they're dropping in a bit late in these battlegrounds.
Now, this makes the game a little bit more interesting for 1952, because as you mentioned, the late drop from their side, I mean, they tried their level best to glide towards their preferred drops, but all they will have to begin with is these small little compounds. And if you do not find enough utility, if you do not find the proper weapons to go to your actual drop, I think 1952 could be in trouble, and it looks like it's already happening. Not enough weapons, all right. The Bison is going to be in the hands of C1. Something is better than nothing. The VSS there as well, but entry with just a shotgun, I think, won't be able to do much in those extended team fights. So it's going to be quite important to find some proper weapons. Even the SMGs will do the trick right now for 1952, as they have been struggling throughout the day. Not off to a great start. Even the last game, I think, could have gone their way, but a little bit of a slip up, resulting in them being the first team to be eliminated. So it will be quite important for them to shut down the bad performances and try and see if they can recover in this match.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see, if that recovery actually happens in all these situations. But right now, Stalwart just trying to move forward again. Just like we said, they'll have to go down to their area. So this is the thing about this team, right? Wherever the circle is, wherever the flight path is, this team will have that movement that just takes them to the areas of Novo Ripnoi. They loot Novo Ripnoi, then they come back. It's a good thing. It just showcases how dedicated you are for your own drop location. You're not cheating on your drop location, right? You have a good relationship with the drop location, and well, they're definitely going there. I love this thing about this team, and well, let's see in how much time do they come back, because it's like 6 seconds and the circle's
Yeah.
coming.
I think even with this long rotation towards Nova Repnoy, Stalwart Esports, they won't have to worry too much, because the circle is kind of in a hybrid position right now, wherein it is around like 20% towards Military Island, the rest of it being towards the main island. There is a lot of water involved as well, since the circle is towards the southwestern side of the map. And I think Stalwart Esports, if they feel, if they have hints that all right, DRS might be blocking our bridge, or 1952 is going to be waiting for us on the other side, they can always try and follow Sealy Esports, use the military bridge, and then rotate towards the main island position. I know it's going to be very risky for them to make it happen, but in the past we have seen them be quite successful with that rotation as well. And even this time, that can be a viable option for the team. But for now, the lads from IHC Esports on our screen did in fact head towards the Georgopol city and the hospital positions right now. So they're going to be split up for a few minutes, but regrouping from for them, it's not going to be difficult. What is
Yeah.
going to be quite difficult for them is to move towards the center and then control this, because they're going to be followed closely by the players from Raw and the players of Skylightz Gaming, who have landed towards the Georgopol containers and the northern Georgopol city respectively. IHC, we see IC pick up Godless, and now Alex and Zeol are going to be picked up as well, or maybe they're just going to meet their teammates once they have found some safe haven. All right, vehicles are going to be recovered. So just the process of regrouping has been initiated by the lads of
Ah.
IHC. It's going to be a while before all of them are together, though.
That was a good vehicle, We saw that vehicle, and it was like a pretty good skin coming down from. I guess it was what Godzilla
Yeah.
versus Kong times, and definitely a
Yep.
pretty good skin though. But right now, DRS, the real soldiers, just trying to find up their own loot for themselves. Fun fact: me and Ansh, whenever we play, right, we drop down in the same area. Milta is our drop where we just like we drop down and we just have our own times. And look at this 1952 again and again and again. Why do they make news flashes in the first place? That's the question now. As 7C has spotted down a few players from 1952, they're trying to go for a few shots. A few shots did connect, but entry looks like his vehicle was struggling a bit, but now everything's good.
Well, let's see. I mean, the struggle is still going to be there for 1952, but at least they have proper weapons now. A lot of healing utility available on the lads as well. Still isolated on the map, though. I think they will have to be a little bit more patient and try and wait and hold their positions rather than just start shooting at anyone they see, go for a wide rotation, because we know wherever the circle is towards the Gatka farms, the game in its early stages is the slowest it can be. But towards the late stages, there is so much chaos. You don't know if the first knock that you get is going to be from one team, and the second one you find if it's going to be from the same team. There have been instances where multiple teams just huddle up in a single position, and there's just bloodbath happening inside the match. Although I think it's going to be quite interesting right now, because almost majority of the teams this time have decided to go for the southern edges, quite close to the ferry pier positions, and they're trying to find their strongholds over there. So I mean, mid-game collisions are not going to really be there in this stage of the match, but post 15 minutes is when I think majority of the fights are going to break out.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, in those fighting situations right now. But Frag Boy, all right. Right, pretty close to the players of Phantom, and obviously they are trying to just move forward onto themselves as they were. But Shari, it looks like, what is it? Did he need a cab or something? I mean, he had his own buggy. All right, they were just exchanging a few things. Oh no, he's just exchanging a few things here and there, I believe. So yeah, they are, because I thought like maybe his buggy maybe broke down, or the fuel just ran out, so he just wanted a vehicle to just move forward. I thought that is happening, but right now, Shari, again, just trying to spot on a few players here and there, although nothing is happening on the situations. Again, we have all the players surviving. Around 9-minute marker is where we are. First circle coming to a close, and in less than 7 seconds, the circle is definitely going to go for the close. But Seoul on the other side was spotted down, and True Love on this side, taking a lot of damage on his vest and well on his own HP, as it is down to a 20.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the lads right there. IHC quite keen on moving forward and pushing this advantage against the lads of Deadeyes, and we've seen IHC and the players, they focus in, they hone in on one position, wanting to take control of it, and they always push forward. But look at this, quite interesting now. Skylightz Gaming and Stalwart Esports, both of the teams mutually deciding to play a late game sort of play style. Both of them just holding on to their early drop locations and just waiting to see if there is going to be action inside the circle in the early stages that they can capitalize on with their late rotation. Well, Stalwart Esports, they're going to be forced to move as the blue zone is here, and Seal Esports starting the action against JyanMaara. Baron is going to be the man securing the first blood for his team, but he has been traded out. Two players from the side of JyanMaara, I believe, were knocked out. Susan, he has a little bit of HP, trying to heal up. Leo is there to back his teammate as well. They line up the utility, and Susan, he needs to be extremely careful. The nades have been lined up. He's burning alive, but he will be able to survive, I believe. And from the backlines, ladies and gentlemen, in the other direction, ElementriX, they do also end up taking a hit. A wonderful nade, a three-pointer towards Susan. He has been taken down. Demo straight up going for a finish. That leaves no fear with a man who has a lot to fear, because Seal Esports, a 1v3 is what he has to clutch. Baron going for the shot. No fear, down to around 30 HP. And from the flank, Demo instantly with a wipeout. So the first team has been eliminated, and it is JyanMaara, ladies and gentlemen, going back to the lobby and waiting for the next match to start.
Oh my god, this one coming down against JyanMaara. What a brilliant fight they tried, but then again, Seal just, sealed the deal, and this time it's Sus, whose grenade was pretty close to Savage's players, but Eisenberg's nade on the other side taking on Yozu. Mr. Yozu's down, and now Sus is going with his Molotovs as well. But now ElementriX needs to understand that they have already lost down on one player, and Yozu is down as well. That means just two players are trying to take up all the fights. Sus with 18 bullets in that UMP. Will that be enough? One right now, switching down his weapon, as he has 40 in that M4. Although Liquid is down now, Hershey needs to go for a reload as well. Sus is the last man standing on the other side, and well, from three different directions, he will be taken down as ElementriX becomes the second team that follows out their way to lobby.
Some of the biggest names going out this early was something that I think no one could have predicted, but still 14 teams surviving. And look towards Ferrypier. We have the lads from Phantom Esports over here, but they are not exactly alone. There's one team towards their left, one team towards their right, and Phantom Esports, they seem to be stuck in the middle. They can't even cross the road, go towards the high ground in the front, because there is definitely going to be a very massive cluster on the other side of that hill. So that is going to be very risky for them. But talking about the other side of the hill, we did have a look at Venom Legends. They are doing a phenomenal job right now, just holding on to their positions and not really being exposed to unnecessary angles from where they can be taken out. The second airdrop, ladies and gentlemen, in front of us right now with the MG3 and the 8X. So I think the scope can be recovered, and if in one of the other airdrops you do manage to find an arm, I think this is definitely going to be a very big threat that the other teams will have to worry about. And look at Stalwart Esports and DRS, another an imminent collision. So I think Stalwart Esports, they need to be the ones being more worried than DRS, rather, because DRS will have the control of the lighthouse and the squad house as well. Quite a good crossfire setup that can blockade the lads of Stalwart Esports in an instant.
And that's the thing, right? Because the first player to just move forward, as we can see, he's trying to just get down to a good place. But well, it looks like he stopped his vehicle right around that bridge. The other players of Stalwart, they'll also just try to move forward. Although Skylightz, look at this from the back line. Skylightz has reached to the sides of Query. This looks like a good circle for them, as they are just away from all the kerfuffles. We'll have to see what happens. But right now, Savage is trying to dish out some damage there, although not a lot is happening. But Frag Boy taking down players from 1952, and Vibes Joker taking down Shifu. 1952 for the first time in the fight. It looks like they have an upper advantage. They would not want to lose this out, as 90 Degree is trying to go for a what? He was trying to heal himself, but now the nade splash damage just took him down. And Turula, what is he doing? What? Who statued him? Come on, he needs to move. All right, C1's moving on the other side, and now he'll go for that revive that needs to happen, as C1's the last one, standing last one, surviving, as Turula is still on the backlines. I'm pretty sure something bad has happened with that lad, though.
I think he's knocked out.
He's
all right. No, he's there. He's there. His teammate is down on the flank. I was looking at the radar and they just overlapped. I was like, all right, maybe it's just the observer doing something weird, but no.
But
yeah, he's just standing there.
Come on, I believe whatever it gets resolved or something, like, I don't know. But well, Jiggle on the other side is just trying to spot on a few players, switching onto the FPP, counting out the distance, and then throwing that nade inside that house. That nade was good.
It was impressive, and finally, I think True Love is going to be put out of his misery. He has been finished off, and 1952, all right, they at least survived this one fight. But they shouldn't be too happy about this. They were almost taken out in this one as well. And had whatever happened did not happen, I think we would have seen 1952 take an exit instead of Deadeyes Guys right there. But look at Vibes. They want to take a peaceful exit out of this one, having tossed a lot of utility in the other direction. I think they realize there is another team present on their flank, and Vibes, they need to be prepared for the high ground action against the team of Venom Legends. The trees are being utilized for cover, but utility will be quite important, especially those smokes to create pathways to move, to create a little bit of a breathing room for these teams. And ladies and gentlemen, as the next blue zone approaches, and we are down to 13 teams, 50 players still surviving, I think it is going to be quite interesting to see how many teams are going to be picked off from the center of the circle, because the circle just takes a shift towards the south. Now it's completely towards Primorsk and Periphery. So all the teams that thought, all right, so Gatka Farm is where the game is going to end. Psych! That's not it.
That's not it. That's the wrong place that you're thinking about. But right now, Entry is trying to spot down a few players. I mean, 1952, they survived by the Whiskers. It's one player that was surviving C1. He revived all the teammates of his, and well, that's definitely a commendable. Right now, Stalwart just trying to move forward top. He moves forward. They survive again, but right now DRS's Rules takes down a few players from Vibes, obviously taking down Malik Vishal, just down, and now Reaper is going with a few nades. Jiggle needs to understand that if one nade's on him, then he would be gone. Down and out though, but right now he's still surviving. DRS is inside the circle, but from the back lines, you see Stalwart. I want to see how Stalwart plays this one. That's the question, but no! Before all these things, Rick takes down Jiggle.
That one's got hurt right there. Jiggle was completely surrounded. DRS on one side, Raw on the other. Nowhere left to go for him. And I think Raw now have their attention focused on the lads of DRS. Rick finding another opening for his team on the other side though. Stalwart Esports. It looks like Savage might be the team taking the exit in a few short moments. Stalwart Esports doing is the action, but action is going to be taken out by Hustler. So the backstab was already set up, but the trade comes in for Stalwart Esports. Pika with a wrap. They've already lost Cry, so it's up to Pika and top to bring their team out of this tough situation. Sanchir, look at him climbing on top of the rock, takes a lot of damage, almost down to 20 HP. They could have found this opening, but talking about openings, look at that. Skylightz Gaming in a world of trouble as Seal Esports managed to finish off AJ in the collision between the two squads. And Skylightz Gaming not having a good day will be wiped out from the game. Mafia Ninja, the last player of the team, is going to be completely finished off. The 13th placed finish for Skylightz Gaming. I think again just having trouble adjusting
Stalwart.
to what is going on with the rest of the teams. But
Yeah,
I think Stalwart Esports, they are not having any trouble. They are still holding 3-man strong.
but I believe they are not in a good position. They are not at all in a good position.
The hat-trick is not going to happen.
Yeah, that might not happen. Look at the nades that are coming up from Savage's players as they take down one. Stalwart is in the wrong spot now. No amount can just save them. Action is low on his HP. Pika just trying to survive in all these situations. Needs were coming on them. If they survive from this one, it would be the miracle that happens. But well, will that miracle happen? That's the question. Hustler follows down. Sanchir's Molotov takes down Hustler, and Pika takes down but he's burning. He is burning, all thanks to Sanchir. One Molotov to take his teammate down, the other one to just take the team of Stalwart out.
That was such a good fight between those two teams, but the action is not going to stop. IHC have been caught off guard by the players of 7 Seas. Godless has been taken out. Alex is down on his knees. It's up to IC and Zeol, and the utility being tossed out by Precious is going to find more knocks. One more man out. It's the last player. Zeol in the blue zone. Look at him hiding behind the tree, slowly bleeding out, and even he realized that the fate that awaited him, he couldn't avoid it in any other way. IHC taking an exit. Top 9 teams, 30 players still alive. And Seal Esports, I think, the revenge that they wanted, the story that they wanted to write for themselves against Stalwart Esports, it's going to be a success. 3 players strong, 7 eliminations already secured. Their position in the circle is quite nice. So they're doing a phenomenal job, but Venom Legends surrounded, and they're getting flanked by 2 different teams, 1952 in one side and 7C Esports on the other. So it's going to be quite difficult for Venom Legends to move around.
They have good number of eliminations for themselves, 7C right now, just to the when you talk about the start. But Seal definitely has a notch up for themselves. 7 eliminations, all the 3 players. Seal and Savage as well, 7 eliminations and only 3 players surviving for them as well. These two teams needs to they need to understand that these they only have 3 players, but 1952. Now it looks like things are turning bad for them as Entry follows up as well, and now it means 1952 has 1, in fact, none surviving for them, and they mark another exit.
8 teams remain. Sanchir trying to see if he can force the fight against the lads of DRS, but 1v3 in a situation like this is not advisable. So Sanchir has been picked off. I think just 1 nade and he's going to go down. Savage Esports, again, the earlier fight that they took, or well, the trouble that they were put in just delayed their rotation too much. So quite an easy elimination for DRS to hand out, and now they refocus on their own position. Oh, important knock. Oh, just barely missing out, I think. But still, Delta has done good enough for his teammates to be allowed the opportunity to move forward a little bit closer to the edge of the circle. And if they can finish off the squad of Raw, I think DRS, they will go on to win the chicken dinner in this game. But I think even they are losing out on those bodies. It's a 3v3 between the two teams. 7C Esports still holding their ground against
Oh,
the
one
other
more
lads. But
shot!
what is this rotation? Assault, quite an easy knock being secured.
What a knock coming down from Assault. You saw him just taking down the head, in fact,
Yeah.
of his opponent out of the lobby. And now Demo is just on the other side as he's trying to spot down a few players. He thinks that there is someone in that smoke. That's why he's just crouching down. He understands that there might just be someone onto that area. Delta, meanwhile, take down one from Raw, and that is Kazi. He's down now. Raw will have to take up a fight against DRS's players that are surviving. In fact, a player that is surviving. Look at DRS, only 1% win, ratio coming up for them, win percentage coming up for them. And these nades, these triples were there, but Rick with his own grenade takes down Delta, and DRS is out as well.
Well, DRS getting eliminated from this match. We are down to the top 6. 19 players still alive. Train to Kill still holding strong, even though they have lost Sandesh, Jane, Legend, and Sanhok. They are still surviving, and they have control of an isolated edge of the circle. So if they keep their heads down close to the ground, I think they do have a possibility of making it into the top 3. But I think they also want to secure those elimination points while they're at it. Seal Esports, they were trying to create some cover, and the shots were fired from the lads of T2K. So they've pretty much given away their information, their position inside the match. 7C Esports rips it, going for the shots on Venom Legends on the slope. They have the advantage of being inside the circle, so I think that is what 7C need to focus on. But they were too distracted by the fact that Venom Legends were the ones moving around, and they wanted to finish them off. And in turn, Venom Legends, they get inside the circle, have the smokes laid out, the vehicles are going to be there, and 7C Esports might just be the team taking the next exit, as now they get stuck right on the very edge of the circle, and they will be pinned down when they try to move in.
There will be. Now 7C is definitely just trying to go against all the odds. But look at Venom Legends' players as a few nades just coming up from the sky are taking down the players as well. 7C looks like they know where their opponents are. But well, they might just not be able to face them as they are being taken down as well. But Akujot's nade takes down one from Venom, and that is Rapat as he follows up with another nade to finish Rapat right now, getting a grenadier tag onto himself. 17 players alive, 6 teams surviving. T2K's Legend is getting a few shots on him, but not looks like he's safe. No, maybe not, as there are a few more shots just coming down onto his leg, but still he survives. 7C's players, they're trying to move forward again. A few shots definitely just arrived on them, but now they're trying to get inside that zone with their own teammates. Looks like they have a good place for them.
I mean, Rick should have just kept on going the first time he pressed the trigger, but he won't have the next opportunity because he's going to be blown to smithereens with a nade from the lads of Seal Esports. 7C Esports, as I said earlier, the pin down is going to be here. 2 players knocked out. Suyog on the flank, and Legend with a clear line of fire available to him can at any point turn up the heat for the lads of 7C Esports. But Seal Esports, 2 out in the open, 2 overexposed. They also get punished. Anyone who presses the trigger is going down instantly, so it's better to not shoot, I guess. But oh, bad advice. Train to Kill, they were trying to avoid the collision, trying to go for a revive on the teammates, but 7C Esports, jukega nahi, just steps out from behind the smoke like a smoke criminal and takes out the lads. It's down to the top 4. 11 players still alive. Seal Esports, a team that had a massive advantage a few moments earlier, are struggling right now to recover.
Let's see what Seal can do in this one. Now it's the question if the third one will come to the Mongolian lands or not. That's the question that we'll have to ask in the situation, as Team Seal, they are trying to find out a good place for themselves again and again. And Venom on the other side is trying to find out their own spot for themselves, as it's just one lad surviving. Raw, they are having a momentum for themselves, although they lost 1 player, but they have 8 eliminations. That shows the way they want to play, but peekaboo, there was a nade, although he's still surviving. What is happening? Come on, take him down!
Did the nade bounce on him?
The nade bounce off that What's that? That buggy's back, and that's why it just went to the left hand side, just dealing less of a splash damage. Although now 7C's on the other side, it looks like they have been spotted down by a lot of teams as they are just trying to understand where the players are, because the players will have to move out in the open. 7C, they had a brilliant position for themselves, but looks like they lost it as a circle in the final movements. It moved away from them, and if Team Seal just takes away the opportunity from Raw, that will mean that they'll win, because 7C has to move around from the open areas when Legends don't have that much players. Seal has that place. The only thing that they have to take down is the players from Raw that are quite close to them, but it looks like the players will be taken down from 7C right now. Team Seal is looking really good. They have more and more number of defeats for themselves. Eliminations, if we talk about it for themselves, 12 to be precise. I believe 13 right now. And now Team Raw just right ahead of Seal.
Well, Raw, their priority right now is going to be to initiate those revives for themselves and try and see if they can recover and bring the situation back to a 3v3 rather than just take the fight
Look at
against a
this.
2v3 or a 1v3 situation. But look at Ale. He's so smart. He knows these two teams outnumber him, outgun him, and he's just going to keep his head down. But Mama God, with a nade, an impressive nade, is going to be able to take down Wally. It's up to Leo and Demo to try and secure this chicken dinner, try and bring the third one home for the Mongolians. Demo tries to stand up, go for the shots. They know the two lads are pinned down behind the shack, but they don't know where Kazi is, just thrown out, crawling into the grass, just trying to get a flank on. And I think if they go too wide, then the point of concern does become, will Ale spot you out? Demo is just literally moving towards Ale's direction. I think Demo will be the first man to get taken out, because there are these patches that are open, and look at that. I think that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. Seal Esports, not much left to do. Demo is going to be finished off. Even though Ale has given away his position, he has just handed the match, the victory, over to the lads of Raw. They outnumber Seal Esports now 3-1, but still the game can switch positions. Mama God being a little too over eager, climbing on top of the shack to see if he can spot out a few of the lads from the side of Seal Esports. And again, taking those shots, trying to get some extra information for his team. They just want to go for the cleanup now, Raw Esports.
Look at this, the circle's closing up, and after this it's going to be just 30 seconds, and then the night circle will be coming up. But right now, Team Seal just trying to move forward. Their helmets, their vests, all gone, all red. Red means danger, but will they mean danger? That's the question right now. Venom's Ale just changing the fate and giving it out to Robert. Look at that Wally as he takes down one. Ghazi is down and out. A Molotov being thrown onto the sidelines of Assault, but looks like the Molotov did not hit him exactly. That elimination will be sealed by Wally. Does not have a backpack though. That's the question now. If he just needs something else. But Leo is looking in the left-hand side. That's where Ale is. Mama God just trying to move with the circle. This is a very important game. A 2-on-1-on-1 situation, 2-on-1-on-2 situation, which is down to a 2-on-2 situation. Seal versus Robert. What just happened? Wally will seal the deal for Team Seal as the third one comes down to Mongolian Sands. Mongolian lands as Team Seal. They get 1,000 for them in the bag.
And they also do it in the same way that Stalwart Esports did at 32 points.
They're first. Are you freaking kidding me? They're first.
Yeah, I mean, the difference wasn't that much. I believe after the last game, they were on 36 and 59 was the total tally for Stalwart Esports. And, well, Seal Esports, the first week, like always, this time as well, is going to be theirs. There's absolutely no one in the lobby that can take this away from them. What an impressive finish. I thought they were done the moment Demo was finished off, because by then I think Raw had pretty clear information where the lads of Seal Esports were. They could have just completely denied vision to the last surviving player for Venom Legends and then closed in from the left, finished off Seal first, finished off Venom Legends in the end, secured the chicken dinner. That should have been the game plan right there for the players of Raw. But I think just the fact that there was a little bit, there is always going to be a mental pressure situation when there is one guy on the flank and that guy is not from either of the teams in the top that has the numbers advantage. It's an isolated player, because isolated players are wildcards. They are like those X factors that can either hand you the win or take it away from you, which they almost did from Seal Esports. But hey, Seal Esports, what a recovery. What a recovery, bringing the chicken dinner no matter what the condition, and also the 32 points in one game. That is just impressive. But we will be breaking down the action in more detail after this break. Welcome back
Uh,
after the break, ladies and gentlemen, to the PMPL South Asia Spring Season of 2022. This is Warren Super Johnny John, joined by Ocean Sharma. Three matches of the day are done, and so far it just has been the Mongolian domination that has been ruling the lobbies and the maps that have happened so far. In the day, but if you guys want to dominate as well, you can do so with the Oppo F21 Pro, ladies and gentlemen. That is the sponsor of the PMPL South Asia 2022. It's going to be out in the market soon, and you guys can also grab yourselves the winner chicken dinner with the Oppo F21 Pro. And coming back to the discussion, Ocean, you were pointing out an interesting fact about the final fight.
well, let's have a look at the MVP while I'm pointing that out because obviously that will
Yes.
be in the MVP. I'm pretty sure on the MVP stats because we'll see the eliminations that a player has done. And I'm pretty sure it should be from Team Seal Wally. 8 eliminations, and the last 4 came up as a 1-on-4. He did a 4K, and that was brilliant. Definitely just taking down players one by one. It was not an exact 1v4, but
Yeah.
he took players one by one later on. 0 assists. I get it. 8 knocks coming down on his name, which is the highest as well if you look at the play data versus the average data, and 1156 damage. So in all the first 3 games, Johnny, the
Yeah.
damage has been between 1100 to 1200 as well. for the
Exactly. I
MVP.
think the individual performances have been stepped up by quite a big margin by the lads of Seal Esports and also Stalwart Esports. I think we're waiting for IHC to step up as well, because there have been those moments of brilliance from the lads of IHC, but they can't just seem to put it all together to get to the chicken dinner finish. And looking at the list of top players from this match, Wally is going to be followed by his own teammate Leo with the 4 eliminations on him. Demo is going to be there with his 4 eliminations. Ale from Venom Legends, Alibo, I think kudos to this lad. Managed to survive for so long, all
Yes.
alone with
Kudos.
literally no cover but a buggy. That's all he had to protect himself, and he did a phenomenal
He
job making it to the top 3.
somehow he legit has more survival time than Wally. For 3 seconds difference though, but that just comes down to the animations and all those things as well when
Yeah.
you step onto the ground and all those things as well. But yeah, but still 676 damage, that is 26 square. If we talk about it, 917 damage coming down to Leo, and 4 eliminations. Demo with 4780, Assault with 3, 4433, and then there is Wally with 8 freaking eliminations for him.
I mean, what an impressive day it has been. And I think again, Raw Esports, I
Oh my
have to
God.
say, Raw, they had the possibility of securing this chicken dinner, but just
Johnny.
the way the final fights went. Yeah, I know, 3161 damage dealt, 1300 received.
Seal has an average survival time which is less than Raw's average survival time because Seal had only 2 players. They lost their 2 players earlier.
Yeah.
And Raw had 4 players when it came down to the final circuit. They lost their player one by one. So think about the average survival difference. So it was a legit 2-on-3 on like 2v3v1 situation, all those things. So Seal,
Also,
they got a good game for them.
exactly. I think even Raw Esports had a pretty good game, considering the fact that I think there was efficiency from both the teams. 17, 8 knocks, and everything was just instantly confirmed. So no sort of leeway for mistakes to be made, for points to be secured by other team, I guess. And that is also very important, because the more you start tossing away points left and right, just leaving knocks out in the open for others to secure, I think it does end up backfiring in on the when you look at the bigger picture. But looking at the match summary, Wally is in 3 positions on the first spot. So highest eliminations goes to Wally, highest damage with Wally as well, and highest knocks as well, because 8 eliminations, 8 knocks secured. Highest assist, although it's going to be rules from DRS, with 4 assists being secured by him, and longest distance elimination in this match was Leo's. But looking at the match rankings right now, 32 points for the team that got the chicken dinner, and then there's a 12-point drop where Raw is, with just 20 points secured for them.
32. I mean, it's definitely just quite a good number coming down for these players if we just talk about it. But then again, draws there, Venom 7C, just like talked about. But Deadeyes Guys, JyanMaara, I don't know what happened with them on this game, to be honest. But then again, I would say for someone a game is good, for someone a
Yeah.
game is bad, and that's how even life is sometimes. So
I mean,
Yeah,
you
it
want to
works.
talk about having a bad day. I think we all saw what happened with Deadeyes Guys. You can't really go any worse than that. So quite an unfortunate start for them as well. But hopefully by the end of the weekend, Deadeyes Guys, we see them within the top 6. I want to see Deadeyes Guys do be consistent this time, because even the last time I think that was the case, where they would either do extremely well, just destroy the entire lobby on one particular day, and get stormed on the next. So there was just those two extremes and no middle ground for the team. If the team finds the middle ground, if they can get just decent performances consistently, like on an average just manage to secure 9 to 10 points as well, I think for a team like Deadeyes Guys, that is enough to get them to the finals. And in the finals, I think with the amount of experience that they have, they should easily be able to handle the pressure. But Ocean, we have the zone analysis in front of us, and how do you predict the final shift that happened towards Ferry Pier and Primos? Because I think half the game everyone was thinking, all right, Gutka farms is where the game will end.
Definitely. I mean, the way that shift happened, it was just weird. And look at this. Everyone would have been thinking that the circle might just go to query lines or something like that, and the circle goes down, and that's where Raw was. Look at where they were. Look at where Seal were. These two teams had a really perfect place for them in the circle. Rest all the teams, either from the northern side or from eastern side, they were trying to just get inside. They were not even like exactly. They were just trying and nothing else. But then, after this circle, you saw how Seal just went in. They had these two players only, and with these two players, they managed to get everything for themselves.
Well, they did a phenomenal job in this match, because I mean, their position from the military island, the first challenge for Seal Esports becomes, how do you cross? Well, an early rotation through the military bridge got them to Primorsk earlier on, and since their position was isolated for a long time, since majority of the teams were towards Gutka farm and they were trying to push for Ferry Pier and not Primorsk, I think Seal Esports, they took advantage of that. But then this fight happens out in the open, teams closing in from the small hill on the other side of the road as well. That is where they got in a little bit of a troublesome situation. They also got too overconfident. I think we saw them take those exposed fight against Raw Esports, where Raw Esports was able to find those knocks, but they weren't really able to convert anything moving forward from there. And I think that is the decision that could have changed everything. Had Raw Esports, when they got their revives and Venom Legends chimed in with the third party, Ali Boot chimed in with the third party, had Raw Esports use that time to push forward, they could have easily taken down Seal Esports, and they would be the ones with the chicken dinner and also $1,000 for themselves. Let's not forget, money is also involved in every single game right now, because it is the Super Weekend. It would have been quite a nice start for Raw for this first Super Weekend. But hey, the day is not over. 2 more matches are still left.
Oh, well, the day definitely is not over. But then again, the way we saw this day just shaping up, this day has been a Mongolian day so far.
Yeah.
They have just dominated. Be it Stalwart, be it Seal, Savage has been there here and there. IHC is trying to make up their marker. But then again, if we just discuss all those things together, we still understand that the other teams, how much they try, they're still falling a bit short. Be it the zone holds, be it the rotations, and that's where Mongolian teams are just, one step ahead somehow. And well, not even one, like lots of steps sometimes.
Oh yeah, I mean, they are doing a phenomenal job, especially these two teams that we have seen get those chicken dinners, Seal Esports and Stalwart Esports. This match was quite unfortunate for them. As you pointed out, their position in that fight was quite exposed, and not really, I don't really know what they were doing there, because there were like 3 different teams that had them pinned down. And Seal Esports, ladies and gentlemen, towards the end, Assaulty couldn't really do much to stop Seal Esports in their tracks. 1v2, both the players a little bit further away from each other, so you can't really line them up as well. And Seal Esports, they capitalized quite nicely. Look at the damage numbers again. It's just one team that has dominated the game. The rest were just too busy fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah, but right now 3161 was the total damage number that Seal had for themselves. Raw coming down with 1922, 1096 coming down for 7C, Venom 1355. So definitely lots of differences just coming down for the players and for the teams right now. And this shows the difference that the teams like to have in their play styles. When we look at what is it, the league plays versus the super weekends, there's a lot of difference.
Well, there is definitely going to be a massive, massive difference in the way teams have been performing because, well, it's the Super Weekend, and look at that. Seal Esports, they did in fact take the first position away from Stalwart Esports, but there is just a 4-point difference between the two teams. Although, Ocean, look at the top two and then look at where Raw Esports are. They have an 8-point jump that they have just secured for themselves. They do bring themselves up to the top three, but still, they are on 28 points, and the team above them is already on 60.
Yeah, there is quite a bit difference right now, but look at the 60, 64. That's the distance. That's the points that the top teams have, and on the other side, JyanMaara 1922, ElementriX, they still have to go to the double digit for themselves. I hope they do. I hope they do. But then, let's see.
Well, let's see. As you said, I think one thing I would like to see is JyanMaara and ElementriX step up the pace because during the weekdays, they were still doing quite decent for themselves, especially ElementriX, as we talked about them earlier on in the day. They were in the top 6, and now it looks like they are struggling. But as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, on the schedule, it is Sanhok, the next map that is about to come up, followed by the last Erangel of today. Ladies and gentlemen, just 2 more maps left. And I mean, the first 3 have been secured by the Mongolian teams.
Yeah.
Who knows what will happen in the next 2? The teams from Nepal are still struggling a little bit, but they are improving. I mean, with every single game, we see them inching closer and closer and closer to that chicken dinner finish. But out of all the teams that are there, who will be the first one to do that? I think right now, most of the fans are going to be rooting either for DRS or Skylightz Gaming, but Skylightz Gaming in particular haven't really had a good start to today.
As of now, yes, they haven't had that good of a start for themselves. I'm pretty sure they're going to be discussing about all of these things in detail after the day ends, or maybe it's sometimes it's not about the good start, but about a good ending. So they might just go for a good ending in the last 2 games. Again, it's Sanhok, the next one. Obviously, we'll see the Erangel map coming, making up its own return again and again and again. But then that's Erangel for us. But still, we'll see what happens in these 2 games because these 2 are important, not just for Skylightz, for the teams that are actually not in top 5 right now. Again, 1 chicken dinner for you gets you $1,000. That's the thing you need to have your mind on. Just like Seal had it right now. They had only 2 players, but then those 2 players made a lot of difference.
I mean, definitely the major impact just by those 2 lads. And going into Sanhok, I think again it's going to be a fast-paced map, so you have to be prepared to take these fights. You can't really avoid the scuffles that you might run into. Also, I think since, as we did discuss this earlier on in the day as well, this is going to be the first Sanhok, ladies and gentlemen, of this time's PMPL South Asia Spring Season 2022. So if there have been any change in strategies between these 2 teams, they are not aware about this. So right now, I think Sanhok is going to be used to test the waters. A few teams that have the momentum in control might just keep things going, might just keep the flow for themselves, but I think it's going to be quite difficult to predict who will walk away with the win on this map.
All the players are ready. Definitely, they are ready to just showcase their best of the best gameplay for themselves. But then we'll have to understand and see what happens onto these games around right now. Because again, the flight path matters a lot. But for a map like Sanhok, which is a smaller map, flight path, it does not make that much of an impact right now. Ladies and boys and girls, this is gonna be the map of Sanhok, the only Sanhok that we are seeing for the first time right now. For all these players, we'll understand their play styles, their play types, their play makes as for what they can do for right now. As the flight part, definitely just moving on to the top of boot camp's area, going down to the area sidelines to ruins. It definitely looks like a standard flight path. Right now, you can go to the Camp Alpha if you want to. Camp Bravo is in the lead as well. Camp Charlie is there too. Dogs Kampong might just be a bit of a troubling situation, but then again, we'll see what happens. As right now, players are just dropping down. T2K onto the backlines of Mong Nai. Skylight's players just dropping down to the backside of one of the camps, that is Bravo, and Venom Legends is dropping down to the areas of Tatmok, the northern drop. IHC going to the areas of Hathin, but we'll see what Circle is. ElementriX going to the ruins side, and this looks like a decent query circle. We've seen these kind of zones previously as well. Circle definitely just moves to the southern side of query here and there, and then we'll see what happens with this kind of circle and what happens with the players in all these situations, as everyone will be ready. Just take up the fights for themselves, DRS on the other side, obviously dropping down to the areas of Nakam, Sami, pretty close to the players of Vibes, who are pretty close to the players of Seal as well. Evil Eye right now just trying to spot down a few players in front of them, as Phantom looks like they are in a troubling situation. One player surviving in this situation on low HP. C-Wine, 18 bullets, will definitely take down the player and will definitely finish him out. All right, the door was shut. But first blood coming down on C-Wine, and casting alongside me right now is Necro.
Oh man, it's great to be back, Ocean, and especially now that we're in the map of Sanhok. Action's going to be amped up. What do you think of that?
Oh, action definitely. It's just, coming up for the first time in this map of Sanhok. Everyone just needs to understand the play style of the teammates, of their opponents, in fact, because everyone has seen Sanhok, to be honest, here and there, but they haven't been a part of the Sanhok in this PMPL, to be honest. So I have high hopes from all these players. But what do you think about the Mongolian domination that has happened? I mean, to be honest, that's just out of the world.
I mean, look, day one, Seal has always done well. I don't know if you remember. I mean, season 3, back in the day, Seal, they were just popping off in the week one,
yeah.
Right? They just absolutely popped off, and then later on, they were just sitting back, eating their popcorns, and just watching every single team play and just duke it out, right? Hopefully, that's not the case, though. I want to see consistency from the Mongolian region. But on the other hand, I also heard you guys talk about, Nepal region struggling. Yeah, if you talk about the money, though, they're definitely struggling because they haven't really secured that many chicken dinners. But if you talk about the points and the consistency, I feel like they're pretty chilling, right? Because they have got a couple more games in the future.
Yeah, let's see how it happens overall. But right now in all these situations, might not just be good for a few teams, especially 1952. We have seen them struggling here and there, and well, today's day has not exactly been their day. Their previous elimination was on 9th position with just 2 points for them, and 3 if you just put it overall. But right now, Savage's players, they're also just trying to move forward as well. Savage has had a decent run for themselves. They have outshined in a few fights, not in lots, but then again, it happens here and there for a few teams, but it looks like Savage's players, they are moving towards the areas of 1952. We'll see, though, what happens at the end. But Phantom, these players, they have lost down on one of their players. Let's see what happens in the next one.
Exactly. Losing out on one of the players already, especially in the map of Sanhok, that's going to handicap you big time. And looking now, C-Vine from 1952. Or actually, there is another one of his teammates was trying to help him out to scout this compound in the front. Somewhere down line, they do sense some presence in the front, so they're not just going to straight up approach the compound. They're just going to try and at least sniff one player out. I like the approach from 1952, being as patient as possible, just keeping your eyes keen, locked in the future or in the front. As you can see, Phantom, the players are exposing their bodies for sure, as he's going to get some eyes locked now. Evil Eye slowly and steadily moving it forward. Presence is now known, but the players of Phantom too, they're quite ready. Peeks out a little bit, but the rest 2 players are ready from the back who are going to provide the cover fire.
Slip not onto the back lines right now. Evil Eye just taking down a few players all for himself, as Entry also just has won 1952 for the first time. Looks like they have a strong momentum for themselves in this map as of now. But then again, we're just 4 minutes in fact 5 minutes in onto the action, so we can't say much. We'll have to wait till the zone closes up, till the fights close up, till the circles close up. After the 5th or 6th circle, we'll see how many teams are surviving and what's the occasion for these players and teams for themselves to just grab a good number of points if they can. Right now, 1952 has the circle for themselves. Right next to them is the area of Query. That's where the center line zone is. So they are around the center lines, but looks like they've spotted on one more player. Yeah. But nothing
Savage
happening. But Savage on the other side, they are coming up.
Oh, this is going to be a huge third party from Savage now, all the way in the back. They also have the high ground to play with. Phantom, they're pretty much sandwiched at this point in time, so it's going to be really tough to make it out alive from this spot. But 1952, they're not going to back out from this one. They sense the final man, and they want to take him down as well, as airdrop 1's going to be on the board. MK14 shows its mark on the map of Sanhok. Venom Esports still barely hanging on the edge. They're on the verge of getting eliminated, but what a nade from Evil Eye. This time it's going to catch the opening, and Venom Esports, just like that, maybe. Another confirmation on their side. What's going on? They're getting dismantled, Ocean.
1952, they have good numbers for themselves in terms of the eliminations, but it looks like now they are on the verge of getting eliminated slowly and steadily, as one player has been taken out. In fact, one more just biting down, as Eisenberg from the back lines is trying to take down a few fights, and Hershey's moving forward as well. 1952, look at this. They were happy. They were rejoicing. But now, Entry might just be on the verge of an exit. This is how tables have turned for 1952.
Hey man, look, at this point in time in my life,
What?
I've learned. Okay, another one taken out from Phantom. What's going on? Maybe tables are now going to be flipped. I'm going to hold on to my words for a while, though.
No.
As Savage Esports, okay. That's it. Savage Esports, they pretty much cleaned the entire
But this guy...
Yeah, he's pretty much just spoiled the game for them. He was like in the back like a little snake, just sneaked to kill through, and now he's pretty chilling. But yeah, what I was saying was in life now, I've just learned to focus on the brighter sides, right? Entry is usually the first man to go out, but this time he was last, so I'm happy for him.
All right, just looking good and everything. But look at Slipknot now. And that's like he was the last one surviving. He could have been taken down first, but now 1952 still becomes the first team that just goes out. I mean, I don't know what's wrong. What is happening with this team? I'm guessing communication mistakes, 100%. That's like one of the things. But on the other side, Vibes players, they were thinking that it's a good day to go for a swim in Sanhok. But Jhukega Nahi is definitely having some of the plans on his mind as one is down. And Jiggle! Leo takes him down, will go for the finish as well. Look at this. Some random shots are coming on Jiggle as well. That means there's someone's trying to just get that confirmation, but nope, Leo gets it for him.
Seal just spoiling Vibes' dreams. In this game, I mean, Vibes, they're pretty okay-ish on the overall rankings, actually in the 4th place, so they're doing quite good for themselves, but if you talk about one of the games even being slipped out, your position's already going to get capitalized because you have teams like Venom Legends right underneath you who are actually tied with 25 points, so a lot of threat lingering on your head. So at this point, players might just start double guessing themselves. 15 teams alive and 55 players in total. As you can see, Seal, they have been on a dominating streak. Oh!
Wow. Now JyanMaara needs to understand what is going to hit them. As this is Savage coming up. Hershey, though, will be taken down by Snipe. As he was out in the open, that was too open for him. And now Snipe is trying to take down a few players. Look at him cooking up a nade, but will this nade go? That's the question. He might just throw this nade onto the backlines. This is a good nade right now. Hustle will be the second one to follow up. As Eisenberg is the last one surviving. Molotov following up on Savage's Hustler so that no one comes in to revive him. But what is happening as No Fear just gets that confirmation for his teammate. Eisenberg, what is happening? What is this, Sanhok? Every time you feel a team is on a good momentum, this game is just breaking that.
Yeah, but you also need to agree on the fact that Savage Esports got a little too aggressive. The way Hershey pushed there, it was like, okay, I would call it a rookie mistake. Yeah.
My friend, that's not a little too aggressive. That was too aggressive the way he just moved up.
Yeah, I feel like he should have just waited behind the tree, waited for at least another one of the man from JyanMaara, get a little desperate, and then maybe use some smokes and try and cross over. But Hershey, a little too aggressive, had to pay the price for it. Now he almost is on the verge of getting eliminated. But that's a nice retaliation fight from Eisenberg.
Yeah, but he can't do much, apart from just that fire. I mean, he cannot push. He cannot move. He knows the team has 5 eliminations. He can maybe go for the placement points. But right now, No Fear will definitely just not want to get this confirmation of Eisenberg. But now Eisenberg, his eyes are on Snipe. He would want to get that confirmation. He would want to take that player down. Zone is going to close in. Definitely right now, the players are still inside the circle, so they don't have to worry about anything for this circle or the next one probably, as they will be in the zone again. You see them. But Snipe, the clock is ticking. Who will revive him?
Oh, man. No Fear is just... Actually, his name is No Fear, but currently he's
can
feeling all
sense the
sorts of fear. Yeah, he's feeling all sorts of fear right now. He's not even moving a muscle. He's not even moving an inch. But he will need to try and move soon. If he doesn't, then Snipe's just going to bleed out to his death. As IHC, again, one of those teams I heard you guys were talking about. But personally, I'm still going to be an IHC supporter. I mean, doing pretty okay-ish on the overall rankings as well in 3rd place, and I still feel like moving forward in the future days, we might just see them in the top 2 place.
Oh, well, right now the circle definitely has just, had its own share of shift, but not exactly is going to trouble out, but Eisenberg has moved forward. What is it doing?
No!
Come on!
3rd parties, man!
Eisenberg, you are not the one who knocks now.
Oh, no. Stalwart
Esports, right? Breaking Bad.
No, I have not watched it yet. So
come on, but
listen, I live under a rock. All right.
Come on now, Stalwart, stop. Let me know, guys, if you just get that reference. I mean, it's a good reference. But still, well, top right now, he has taken down one player. That means JyanMaara has also sensed it that there is someone on the back lines was definitely trying to look onto their side. And now JyanMaara, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't want to move out from this area.
Oh, they never want to, because they've probably heard the shots coming through, and they know Stalwart Esports, they are in the prime positioning, especially if it's a team like Stalwart, then you can never even try and go for those little odds that maybe, hey, you're going to miss a couple of shots. No, you'd never try to go for those odds. So you might as well respect this team and let them have their own space and just try and make them run out of patience. And that's what I feel like JyanMaara here are trying to do. Look at the amount of pressure these players are facing, man. JyanMaara, they know somewhere down the line, each and every single point on day one is going to matter. The momentum is going to matter.
This momentum, they'll have to just carry it for themselves if we just talk about it. But then we'll see, how that happens. Situations.
Oh, I like a little,
yeah, that shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
That looked really good. But now, Joker. All right, they are outside the circle, but not too much. But they have DRS right next to them, so it's not exactly the way to be. But then we'll see if it can happen or not right now. Malik onto the back line slowly and slowly. Just trying to move for his own momentum as well, 99 meters, but action will take it down from the other side. What is happening now? It's Stalwart that's on the receiving end.
Oh no, and they're quite separated out too. I don't know if you saw Breakup, it is all the way on the left. Not a great news for Stalwart. Big man action taken care of. Raw, they're actually doing so good. Even in the previous game, they're definitely feeling the nerves kind of turning into iron now at this point. Because Mama God is just trying to bob and weave around the rock. He's not going to find any confirmation just yet. Action is able to barely sneak past, and now he's pretty much back to safety. The rest should be back up on the fallen man. Airdrop 3 on the board, MG3. But now if you take a look at the center of the map too, Ocean, quite a lot of teams are cluttered up. But what I really like is not every single team is just straight up booking it for the center.
MG3 in this airdrop, definitely. Yeah, just like you said, that's a good find, to be honest, that not every team is trying to book themselves around the center. And that's the thing, that's the way that everyone is finding those knocks. Because everyone's moving around the zone, they are finding someone around the zone, and then they are taking fights around the zone. Skylightz, meanwhile, on the backlines of Bhanti, 2K, Lakavi, 7C, Kampong, DE is trying to move from the areas of dogs. They would try to just go at that side. But right now, the circle definitely favors Skylightz and IHC. I don't know. Do you think another one will go in Mongolian hands? Because, well, today has legit been their day. And look at this. Again, now they are forming up this kerfuffle against JyanMaara finally.
Oh, now they taste the blood right there. JyanMaara. Oh, they're hurt. And Stalwart Esports now, they have the bag of salt in their hands and they just want to rub it on their wounds. But is that going to be a possible scenario? That's what I want to know. But also, one thing we forgot to mention, Ocean, is the heal strats on this map. They're so strong. And now, even if a team has their solo survivors, hopefully you guys have enough amount of mess that you can actually try and heal it out. But we are seeing the solo players, right? They're usually right in the center. For example, JyanMaara. It's a duo. But again, I'm pretty sure they're not going to have a lot of mets to work around with because usually people who try to heal strat, they drop on the outskirts of the map.
Let's see, how these things happen, how the situations are going to be just, happening up right now. Astray, he's pretty close to this area now. Just going with those jump and punches, just, was trying to first look around the areas. But now JyanMaara, these players have moved on to the other side, definitely. Now they are where Savage were. And that's from there they were trying to hunt down the players. I would want to see what happens. As it's Stalwart, it's not JyanMaara, it's not Savage, but now definitely JyanMaara is on the other end, but they'll try to go for the fights. And now Seal is gonna go against a fight from Raw, but it looks like Rig will go for his heal slowly and steadily. Mama God just trying to move forward as well, but right now Stry is also just trying to spot down a few players, and this is where domination comes in for Snipe as he takes down Action, one of the main mans.
Yeah, that's not a great news, huh? Stalwart Esports, now they're going to start to fumble, and now it's a 2-on-3 situation. Certainly seems quite doable. JyanMaara, what a way. The proactiveness they've shown in this fight, instantly backed off. Got a little bit of high ground, got a little bit of compound wall to play around with. Playing this really well. Now Seal, they're getting charged up on, but Seal, they're not going to back out from this fight. Not one of those teams that likes to back out. Utilities are raining down in the compound. But Seal, they're taking a sweet little time to try and realize how Raw are thinking this out. Another man is quite on the right. Kazi is not going to straight up peek out. He's going to respect their personal space. Because now Raw, the go call has been made as they're able to find 2 frags. Wally, his wall falls down. Seal, they're getting dismantled. It's all down to the final key player, and it's going to be Leo. He's trying to poke some damage, but is that going to be enough? He actually does. He dukes it out, and now trying to find the second one as well. Barely surviving a sliver of health, and it's someone from the outskirts, just third partying. Come on, man.
No, it's Slipknot. It's
Come on.
Slipknot. Are you freaking kidding me?
It's Phantom, dude. Come on.
Oh.
He's a little rat.
What is this Sanhok? The first Sanhok, and it's so filled with surprises. So many surprises coming up from outside every fight that we can see right now. But Reaper bot already takes on one from Vibes as Malik is down right now with that UMP. Reaper needs to heal. Definitely Killer onto the backlines. Delta as well. You can see them from the top view. And the circle's closing up as well. But Vibes is Malik as he is down. He needs to understand that there are other players as well in the close vicinity, so they cannot do anything in these situations. But right now, Top, he's trying to spot down and find down a few players as well. The team has 2 eliminations. Top has 2 eliminations for himself. Reaper takes down Malik, and Vishal is down now as well. Now it's time for Joker to understand that this is not a joke. You're outside the circle. You will be facing the wrath of the zone, and you need to do everything in your power. But wait a second. On Top gets that elimination.
I want to see how many meds Joker has. If he's going to be able to sustain the damage from the zone for even while. Reaper bot took quite a lot of shots from the back, but he's okay. As Joker's position, if I'm not wrong, should be revealed, but no, not just yet. So DRS still pretty unaware of that fact, and Joker is going to be able to sleep all the eyes away. But here you have Stalwart now slowly and steadily charging on forward. JyanMaara, there's going to be a lot of pressure building up.
Definitely, there's going to be lots and lots of pressure just coming down to the players if we just talk about it. But then again, we'll see what happens right now as Top is moving forward. JyanMaara, finally this rivalry might just come to an end in this map, but we'll have to see who just puts this nail to the coffin as Top takes one more down and will go for the finish. It's his third. He is on domination now. He's moving for another one as he's encircling this whole area, but he needs to understand that IHC is onto the backlines as well. Top, he reaches out, will go for a bandage, but Snipe, what can he do? They are encircling him. He's out. He's been spotted. Top. He just goes for a few shots. Everyone's just going for the jump and punch right now. And they will go for the shots on him as one more in the books for Top. He gets the 4th one of the team.
Look at IHC though. They're on a domination right now. With 5 elim points for themselves. IHC, they're looking so great. And now they also are looking at third party this entire scenario. Top is out in the open, and IC's going to find the moment to strike, and he does strike, and he actually gets away with one. And now instantly finds the confirmation as well as Alex from the back is going to get one from the QBU. Moving forward, though, y'all in the buggy. Stalwart Esports, players are in the front, but the buggy is just there to distract. But Stalwart Esports, they're also able to get out of harm's way. Just for now, though, the Pika is still stuck in the front.
IC is just pretty looking around the back lines right now. He's just looking at those areas. He knows Stalwart might just arrive from that side. Pika, he is there. Just trying to move forward though. Reaper, that damage that he's dishing out outside the circle was enough, but then he needs to understand that he will get caught down as well. Delta has 19 first aids. Will definitely go for a heal battle on for himself. Let's see where can he take his team DRS now as he's the last one surviving.
It's going to be a little tough for sure to try and carry the entire baggage on your back. But I'm pretty sure every single player is capable of pulling off some insane plays at this point. ElementriX having all the players up, one of the players knocked out. So you should be able to get him back up as ElementriX. Now they're taking a lot of shots. And the fallen man now has been confirmed. Liquid spotted out. A little pixel's going to be enough. Oh, but I see this time a little whiff, but it's okay. They're able to at least shook him away from that spot.
It definitely is. We'll see, now what happens in all these situations as IC still trying to pressurize the players onto the back lines. Pekaz is trying to move forward. He has spotted on IC though, but he cannot take up a shot because he knows he's in a bit of a pickle situation. IC, nothing hit him. Now moving on to the different weapon, but you need to understand that play zone damage is a lot as well. And now Scry is the last one surviving, his last one standing. He's going for the bandages right now. Then he has 7 first aids, and then he saw more first aids as well right in front of him. Pekaz gets taken down now. Seoul is on a rampage right now as IHC is doing pretty good, although their players are just 3 in numbers. ElementriX is liquid, trying to take down one more player. Chukigane with that nade takes down Rig, gets that title of Grenadier right now. 10 teams still surviving. Stalwart and DRS struggling outside the circle as they're going for a heal battle, but it's just these 2 teams that are going for a heal battle and none other. Oh, that nade was good.
Oh, Alex. Big threat neutralized in IHC. Now the kill will be instantly confirmed as well. ElementriX, they take care of the entire squad actually. IHC now at the gate. That's a big squad taken out. Still 9 teams alive though. Quite a lot of teams trying to play around with in these final zones. Deadeyes Guys, what a march from their side in a straight line. It's trying to kill. They're looking to rain down death and destruction from the spot they have. The circle takes hard shifts on the compound. Every single team that had the high ground now, including TDK and Skylightz Gaming in the compounds, they will need to try and move in. It's going to be a tough cross for all of them. But Deadeyes Guys, they're quite close. They don't need a cross. But the team that they're going against is 7C. And they are looking really in form for now. Because in this fight, they already fight the opening on the on top.
Well, they definitely do, but now let's see what more can they do in this situation as True Love is onto the back lines right now. Assault onto the sidelines as well, but the grenades are definitely coming. Shifu needs to understand he is in a troubling situation. So is Chari though. 7C just trying to pressurize all these players. And 7C's the best part is that they have the zone for themselves. Although I don't know what's going to happen as Assault. He is definitely in a good line, but now it looks like he might just be down and out. All right, nade damage definitely was dished out, and Chukigane is down onto the backsides, and Skylightz is coming in as well, as Skylightz is trying to move forward onto the areas of 7C if they can. But Chukigane, I think, he's a gone case. If they save him, then it's good. Otherwise, I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get this man back up, though. You're right. Cannot agree with you on that anymore. But Deadeyes Guys, that was quite a risky one. They just sent it, but at least they're able to make it back to safety. They're going to have to thank their luck for sure right there. But 7C now in a really tricky spot as well, as they have one of the players taken out.
Are they trying to save him still? Well, they did. They didn't save him. Although DRS gets eliminated on the other side. What is happening, Chari? He was just dropping down onto a different area, which was wrong, and Precious will just confirm that. Not yet though. Although the player is down, but he's not out. But the revival definitely happened. And now True Love with those nades is trying to shut some more amount of damage for himself, which they will. And now it's down to the Nepali teams as for what they can do. As you can see, Deadeyes Guys, Skylightz, Wipe, 7C all surviving. And Stalwart, they are surviving, but they're surviving outside the zone. So they are just on a heal battle.
Oh man, these 2 solo survivors are going to be the kingmakers. They will decide who they want to make sure is going to be taking this chicken dinner right here, because one of the players from Stalwart Esports is still up, and Vibes as well. As you can see, it's Joker was barely able to sneak past in. A lot of shots on his direction, no positions, no. Skylightz Gaming, they charge on forward. 7C now, they're getting ripped apart into pieces, but Skylightz Gaming, they're not going to back out. The intentions are not going to change.
Galton has 3 kills, team has 3 kills. In fact, he has all the kills that the team has right now. But on the other side, we see 7C, right? We understand what they are trying to do for themselves as they are onto the backlines. This game might just either be Skylight's or 7C's, because every other team has just one player surviving for themselves. So they'll go for the placement points, in which Vibes, the circle is definitely damaging them. Stalwart, the circle has been damaging them, but they are in top 5 right now. That means they will be at the first position in the overalls, because Seal was down and out in the early stages of this game. But right now, Stry is trying. He was, but he will be taken down by the play zone. The first one to bite the dust around the play zone is down now. Joker is trying to move inside the circle as well. I believe he'll be taken down as well, as he's just trying to find a few players. But then again, the zone damage is definitely quite a lot, and he will be taken down by the play zone as well. It's down to 3 teams.
Oh man, the wall of death just doing so much damage on these players.
AJ.
What a nade from AJ, the spiciest man in the squad of Skylightz Gaming. And this time now they're just going to move on forward. What a fearless aggression. And every single player now taking care of 2 teams alive. Ladies and gentlemen, as it has came down to Deadeyes Guys, and it's all down to Sheep Whistle from that man. But he is right in the zone too. He has the prime positioning. This is where he'll need to try and be as proactive as possible, because this is his only chance to try and clutch it out. It's a 1-on-3 for now. The odds are pretty low.
Oh, well, Skylightz Gaming finally has it for themselves, as they, had the zone. They fought it out, and their overall rank is 3rd now. 6 eliminations, 21 total points coming up from this game, and they jump onto the 3rd position. In the top 3 is Skylightz, and with that, they have $1,000 as well to spend.
$1,000 as well to spend for sure. I don't know what they're going to be spending it on, but hey, winner chicken dinner for Skylightz Gaming. Mongolian domination, we saw that throughout the day, but now Skylightz Gaming taking the throne, and also showing that, hey, we also need some sort of money, so we're also going to get ourselves a money, $1,000 booked. But yeah, moving forward though, still talk about consistency. We saw Stalwart Esports make it up till quite late.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talk about consistency, we talk about the understanding, and well, they did try to have an understanding for themselves, but it was exactly not what they were just, trying to go for it. But then again, finally, there is a team that just, gets us onto the understanding that yes, today is not exactly the Mongolian day, as we're just, looking forward to the first 2 going in the hands of Stalwart. Then Seal comes in to seal the deal, and now this is Skylightz. And well, definitely the team has that potential, has been there with the GC points. They qualified with PMGC points last time, right? So they have that potential, and it looks like they are starting it up slowly and steadily. But now we'll see what happens. But all of these conversations and the final game will be coming up right in front of you after a really, really short break. Don't go anywhere. Hello everyone, and welcome back to PUBG Mobile Pro League South Asia. And well, this has been an incredible day when it comes down to the first Super Weekend, where we saw Mongolian domination just coming up a lot. And then there was Skylightz that just came in. Where was it? And then there was Light, that was just the quote. And well, Skylightz just showcased an incredible gameplay when it just came down to it. But then again, ladies and boys and girls, this one was just the 4th game. And well, Necro, what do you make of it? What do you think about the last game? What do you think is going to happen in the last Erangel?
I honestly feel like it's going to be another Mongolian team taking it. I don't know why. I just have like a little itch. And maybe IHC, though. I feel like IHC, they still have to show themselves. So I feel like IHC might just take it. I don't know. What do you think, though?
Well, we'll see. We'll see if IHC actually sees it or not. But well, let's have a look at it. Let's watch. Let's see the MVP of this game. As for what we are just here for talking about the stats right now. So let's have a look at the MVP and let's see who that lad is. I'm pretty sure there are going to be a lot in the contestation, and it is true love from Deadeyes Guys with 3 eliminations, 782 damage, and 23 plus minutes of survival time, Necro.
Oh, those are quite impressive strats. I mean, we did see one of the players from Deadeyes Guys actually survived till pretty end. So, hey, I mean, Deadeyes Guys, he deserves to be here in the MVP spot. But in the end, though, I mean, I really need to take focus on the players' lives, right? I'm still trying to wrap my head around. How did Joker actually sneak his way all the way in and didn't make it to behind that tree? I mean, I did not really look at him in the minimap because I was just looking at all the chaos that was happening.
that chaos definitely just took its own toll. But let's talk about the 5 players out here. And top was still there, all right. 4 eliminations, 566 damage coming up. Kjolsen with 4 as well. Zeol coming up with 5. Eisenberg with 3. And total damage dish by him was 667. Although Zeol had 5 eliminations, he only had 417 damage for him.
Exactly. Ocean, another thing to add on. Now, these are the super weekends, and you can be as critical as you want, man. You can say, if a team's not doing good, you can be critical, it's okay. No one's going to stop you. As I said, league play didn't really matter, but today, momentum matters. And in day one, if a team's not doing good, you can go all in, man.
That's true, that's true. But let's talk about this one. Look at this. Skylightz Gaming, they won, but their average survival is lower as compared to Deadeyes Guys. That showcases, how they were losing players, or how they were trying to take up the fight. And obviously, they lost 1 player earlier. So that definitely shows. Lesser eliminations as compared to Deadeyes Guys, but still, they got 21 points and Deadeyes got 20 points, definitely putting them 1 point above when it comes down to the standing markers. 1020 damage dealt from Skylightz and 1771 damage dealt coming down from Deadeyes Guys. Definitely, first in terms of stats, Deadeyes was at the top, but in terms of where it all matters, Skylightz, well, they got it.
I mean, hey, Skylightz, in the end, patience won, right? Skylightz, they showed their best patience till the end, and then in the end moments was where they started getting so aggressive against the teams in the front, and that's what I liked. I feel like Deadeyes Guys should have also done that, but the hesitation from Deadeyes Guys, you saw, they were just hiding right behind that compound wall. I feel like a little bit of more proactive play, a little bit of more proactiveness from the side of Deadeyes Guys. Maybe outcome could have been different. I mean, look, there's going to be a lot of ifs and buts to add on, but in the end, they could have tried out something different. Taking a look at the match rankings, of course, Deadeyes Guys in there. This time, they're going to topple things on the second place. The Skylightz Gaming is, of course, going to be on top, but 7C on third.
Definitely just coming up pretty good right now. 7C, IHC on 4th, Stalwart as well. That heal battle definitely helped. Vibes coming up on 6th, and this is where again and again, Necro. 1952. I don't know what is happening with this team. Everything just they're trying to go for a good thing, but then it's just not exactly coming up.
Yeah, I told you, man. You can go at them at this point. Go ahead and be critical. Make some critical points if you want. If you don't like something they're doing, go ahead and point it out. I mean, of course, 1952, the struggles being seen from their side, and something needs to be changed. We don't exactly know what can be changed because at this point, look, the players, they talk amongst themselves. We don't know what are the key errors that are being made from the team. But what we can see from here, or what we can see from the observers, some are down line in 4-on-4 fights. I feel like most of the times they do get outplayed.
Yeah, most of the times they do, get outplayed in the situations. I mean, the last game is a perfect example. They took down a few players and then they just, it just went out. But let's have a look at the zones as well of this last game, as it was just, moving around the areas of query, just, from here to there. And situations were not that good when it came down for a few teams. But the other teams definitely just, were trying. But let's have a look at it. You'll see how circle was moving around the sidelines of query. First circle was obviously the bigger one, and then it just started moving, and then Skylightz had a good area around the zone for themselves. After the circle, you'll see how Skylightz dominated more or less the areas around the zone that were highly populated for them, and after that things definitely just happened. Look at the circle. Skylightz, the only team that had a comfortable position, although T2K was behind them, but then T2K decided to go for a slightly southern rotation. That's where the circle was going, and this is where Skylightz had to just snatch the zone from their opponents.
Ooh, and look at 7C's position right now. The way they actually try to reposition themselves, the compounds in the front were clearly open, right? So they had a clear pathway to move in. Joker right here. Now, this is where I'm really trying to look out for him because look at what a mess he is. In front, there's 2 teams, Deadeyes Guys and Raw, pretty much can hold him off. But Joker, in the wall of death, he knew, okay, somewhere down the line, it's going to be really hard for teams to try and sneak up eyes on him. And I think so he also had enough amount of meds. And Joker also played quite a lot of Stalwart.
Definitely did. It definitely did. And, Vibes, they were trying to just, survive as much as they can if you just talk about it. But then again, slowly and slowly, things were just not exactly looking good for a few teams. But still, Skylightz, they managed to get a good game for themselves, and that's all that matters. And, well, now it comes down to one last game. Necro, one last game. To end the day, of course, obviously there are going to be other days as well in the Super Weekend. But then, who do you think is going to get the last $1,000? You said IHC, right?
Yeah, I said IHC. I think so. They really need it. And I mean, they're doing
If
quite well, right? The consistency is there from their side.
yeah,
And I feel like as long as the consistency is there, it's okay. But look, money matters. You know that.
if yeah, exactly. So if that happens, let's have a look at the open moments while we're talking about it. But then if that happens, I would say today has been more or less the overall Mongolian domination. If that happens, right? Because obviously right now Nepali teams, they are starting up their momentum. But then again, we'll have to see if that momentum actually helps them in the last game. Because then again, it's Erangel. If you know how to play it, your opponents know it as well. Because this is the most, what is it? The most normal
Classic
game.
map,
That,
the
yeah, the
oldest
most
map.
classic match that
Yeah.
always stays there. So, yeah.
Yeah, at this point, like every single team, every single player is like just well known with every single nukes and crannies of the map. So yeah, you need to expect greatness from every single team and every single player. But Savage Esports too, I'm not gonna lie. There are some rookie mistakes being made from this team, the way they push, but if you talk about the raw mechanics, I feel like Savage Esports can actually duke it out with some of the best teams out there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, we'll see, though, at the end, what happens in all these situations as for what we're talking about. But right now, with all these games just now out of the equation, all these games out of the picture, you'll see how much, obviously, players are still. In fact, this Sanhok, there were not a lot of field battles, as we see, but you'll still see how much players were struggling around the circle, right? They were trying to make up their markers inside the zone. They were not exactly making up their markers inside the zone, and that's the thing that only 2-3 teams, in fact, only 2-3 players were trying to go for the heal battles, whilst the others were still in for a fight. That's a good thing, to be honest. That's a really good thing to just look out, look around, and just to play. But then again, this one came in for Skylightz, and everyone from the team, they were definitely happy. Although the damage stats, they were not that high, but almost every team had a decent number for them.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the numbers, right? There's quite a lot of thousands this time. A lot of teams have crossed the 1,000 marker. Savage as well, IHC for themselves, and you have 7C, Deadeyes Guys at Skylightz Gaming. As I said, Skylightz Gaming throughout the game, they have been quite patient, so that's why they haven't really gotten that much amount of damage points because Skylightz Gaming, they realized, right, they have a really great positioning at this point, trying to duke it out against some teams, trying to force fights. This might also get a couple of casualty on yourself, so might as well be patient and let things roll by on your side. As you take a look at the overall rankings, and the top 3 teams are going to be Stalwart, Seal, and Skylightz Gaming. Finally, the Nepal region showing themselves in the top 3.
Definitely, that's just how it gets right now. 70 for Stalwart, 65 for Seal, and then it's 37 for Skylightz. Although Skylightz is at third, but there's still a lot of difference in between first, second, and third. And that difference, I'm telling you, my friend, I don't know how are they gonna just go for it. I mean, we know it. It's not gonna happen today. 100%. It's not gonna happen today, but tomorrow maybe we'll see.
And then you look at the latter half of the board. I mean, I understand. Look, 11 to 16, it's some other storyline. But look at 17 to 20. I mean, I know they're not playing in here, but it's just, I like what production has done. Now, if you remember in the past, usually
last
these
time, yeah, we could
teams,
not see the teams.
Yeah, we could, but production is still just like adding the salt on them there, right? You know, this could have been you guys playing in the top 16, but you're not. That's why your name's in the gray. But yeah, moving forward though, looking at the schedule, the final game of Erangel is going to be played. But all the way in the bottom though, I saw in the overall rankings, Ocean, it's going to be JyanMaara, and that's something I did not expect.
I mean, none of us did, because JyanMaara is kind of a veteran name when it comes down to all these competitions and all. But then again, it's sometimes you think you're not expecting it, but then it's like your expectations will be taken down. That's life, my friend, and that's one thing that happens. But still, again, JyanMaara, I mean, they still have a chance. It's not like you're staying at the top or the bottom or something. You have to be, after 3 super weekends as well, you have to be in top 16. That matters. It's a long journey of being in top 16. Plus, every chicken dinner, if you get it, $1,000 are still coming up for you. That's the motivation I would say the team should have right now. Come on, let's get the 1,000. If we can't, then let's be in top 16.
$1,000, man. Come on, that's all that matters. Money is the biggest motivation out there for every single human being to work. Okay, I might just be a little too sharp on that, but
no, but
yeah,
that is true. That is true.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. That's what matters the most. And at this point in Super Weekend as well, if teams do want to get the chicken dinner, that's what will matter as well. Mongolian domination in day one, pretty much, I would say, even though Skylightz Gaming got it, but majority of the games were dominated by the Mongolian teams, and that's what we're seeing so far. But now it really comes down to the final game. Is that going to be the Mongolian domination or even the Bangladesh domination domination or on the final game, or is it going to be Nepal again taking back-to-back chicken dinners? Because so far, even the Bangladeshi teams are not showing themselves.
That's true. That's true. As of now, it's like, teams are trying to just, get a good hold on for themselves. But then again, we'll see what happens with all these teams just, coming down and out and around when it comes down to the competition. Because again, it's just one Super Weekend. I get it. There are still 2 left. For that, starting from next Tuesday, we'll see all the regions once again, all the teams once again trying to fight it out for themselves. But I hope next time we see new teams. If we don't, then again, these teams will just get that gap going on. And if you see a team that hasn't qualified in the first one, the second Super Weekend, and they qualify in the third one, it's going to be a really tough job for them to just get back for themselves, and that creates lots of problems.
Exactly, but it seems like now it's my time to say bye-bye to Ocean, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be Johnny moving back soon. But here we go. The match's going to be starting off the final game of the day 1 of Super Weekend, ladies and gentlemen, of week 1. Brace yourself, fasten your seatbelts, as the plane's going to be in the sky, and we're going to be able to find out where the plane fly path's going to be starting all the way from the top left this time, from Zarki, and ending all the way towards the Sosnovka military base. That means teams that do want to go all the way on the right side, for example, Yasnaya, there's going to be a little bit of struggle. But let's find out how things are going to be taken from their side, as pretty sure in the Yasnaya it's going to be Savage Esports who's going to find their nice little footing. But this plane fly path is definitely going to be interesting because there are quite a lot of teams that like to go on the right side, especially in Nova Reply. You know, Stalwart Esports, they like to go there. They shouldn't really have that big of a trouble to try and get there. But I'm pretty sure they're going to find their sweet little footing as well. Now, Stalwart Esports, all the way in the top with 70 points, and then you have Seal with 65 points. They're looking really strong, and welcome back, my man, Johnny.
I mean, thank you for the warm welcome, Necro. And yeah, I mean, the last game was a little bit shaky for a lot of the teams, but still, I mean, looking at the overall rankings, Stalwart Esports, they're going to be happy about the fact that the first position going into the end of the day is theirs. Skylightz Gaming, with an amazing push to the third position, I think have definitely set up themselves up for success for tomorrow. But talking about this particular game, the last game of the day, if the teams from Nepal, they want to make sure that they don't get left too far behind from Seal Esports and Stalwart Esports. They need to make sure they have at least a top 4, top 5 finish in this particular match, so that going into tomorrow's matches, there's not a lot of pressure upon them. But the circle is already off to a very nice start. We have a Western circle right now. Eisenberg has been spotted out. Shifu with the DP is going to try and spray him down, but the distance was a lot, and he did not have any scopes on him. There was one light right behind him in the room. He's going to regret that he did not pick that up, I guess. But it is still, I mean, an early game position, so not a lot of loss for either of the teams involved.
It's okay. I feel like at this point, the main intentions were to just
scare him
right?
away. Yeah.
Yeah, just like make sure you're not really closing in on our compound. You're respecting our space, because we've got a DP, and if you do, we're not gonna back out from taking you out. Now, one of those teams that's on the struggling phase has to be JyanMaara. Now, how are they going to be able to claw their way back up, Johnny? I personally don't know. What are the problems that are going through? What are the problems that are happening? Because in the previous game of Sanhok, we did see quite a lot of third parties happening, so we might just let it slip by. But what do you think in the first couple of games? What was going wrong with JyanMaara?
I think just struggling quite a lot with those 4v4 squad fights was the fact that JyanMaara was the reason that JyanMaara weren't really able to perform. Also, I mean, the circles weren't really doing them the favor. Was the Mongolian teams kind of taking early control and then just holding on till the late game stages. That is why a lot of the other teams were kind of put in tricky positions. And even in this game, I think there is going to be there can be an advantage for Seal Esports if they try and take an early way into the circle. Since they land to the military island, it's a Western circle. They won't face much resistance going towards the sides of Gatka. So I think that is a possibility right there for Seal Esports to secure and to capitalize upon. But will they take it? That is, I think, the question we need to be asking, because they do have a wonderful chance of challenging and putting pressure on Stalwart going into the last game, going into tomorrow's matches, but that only happens if they win this one.
Winning this one, indeed, is going to be tough. But Johnny, you know, this is quite random. This is quite out the blue. This is not even related to the game. If two things are kept in front of you, right? One of them is a cold drink, and
Yep.
one of them is a juice. Which one would you pick?
Depends on what is what.
Okay, cold drink, whatever. Which one you like prefer to drink, right? And
Or
then juice,
my
whichever
favorite cold
fruit
drink
you like.
versus my favorite juice.
Yeah.
I would go for juice any day.
Okay. Why not cold drink?
I don't know. I just like juice more, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, makes sense. I guess cold drink also can harm your body in quite a lot
Yeah,
of ways.
plus,
But yeah,
We need to talk quite a lot to do what we do for a living, and yeah,
that's
cold
true.
drink. There's a high risk of ruining my throat, so can't do that.
Makes sense. Makes sense. But you always gotta stay hydrated, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little reminder for you guys. Make sure to sip their water, sip that coffee, whatever you guys want. Make sure to stay hydrated because these games are getting way too intense. For comfort, as TDK, they're already gonna find the first blood in the game. As Legend, it's gonna open the fray up.
Well, the first blood, the important one coming for the lads of T2K, and I think they're going to be pretty happy about this. They're doing quite decent as far as their performance shift is considered compared to how they were playing during the league plays, and now already quite close to breaking it into the top 5, even with just one good performance, because there's a vacuum of points between the top 2 teams. Hershey's been spotted out, but Sandesh whiffing the spray completely is going to give second life to his opposition. And well, Savage Esports, they return the favor as Sancher is going to find a knock and a finish. Legend has been taken down. Hershey with a little bit of a stunt action right there, just slamming his bike into the wall, will be there to back his teammate up. But talk about backups, and IC has none right now. The rest of the lads from IHC are a little bit further behind. They have finally arrived right behind IC, having taken control of Everest very early on in the game. This is such a wonderful position right now for IHC, and Phantom Esports can in fact coexist with them. They just don't have to force the fight, go on to the extreme end of this Everest, because it's quite a big landscape, and they can avoid them for the next 5 more minutes, I think. That has to be the decision that needs to be made from Phantom Esports. Otherwise, forcing a fight this early on, it can backfire against them.
Exactly. Both teams on top of the big boy mountain. Still trying to figure out how to challenge things, but it's TDK this time taking a dig on enemy hills. Savage Esports, they're being caught off guard, and what a setup from TDK. They're just getting dismantled. They're getting dismantled at their cars, actually. Savage Esports now left with only 2 players to work with. It's a 2-on-3 situation, but trying to kill. They've successfully wrapped them around outside the compound, and it's going to be really tough for Savage Esports to even sneak a frag away. But Hershey takes down the main man quite low. Jane in front is quite hurt, but instantly he's going to fall back and try and heal himself back up, as Savage Esports Hustler is still getting ticked out. At this point in time, it's going to be next to impossible to try and get Hustler back up on his feet.
Well, let's see. As you said, I mean, it's going to be next to impossible to pick him back up, to revive him, and I think T2K, they want to press this advantage as well. So they do secure the early elimination right there. And with that, I think they also have managed to create a sort of a positional advantage against Savage Esports, because now the 2 lads, Sanchir and Hershey, they're going to be pinned down in those compounds. And all the exits have already been marked by the lads of Train to Kill. So if they don't force a head-on gunfight between the 2 teams, when the time comes for Savage Esports to move out of that position, T2K is going to be all set up to finish them off, or they can use the utility, if they have any, the lads of T2K, to flush out the lads of Savage Esports, get them out in the open, and then finish them off. A lot of playmaking potential right there. But talk about playmaking, and well, Phantom Esports, it looks like they're trying to fight for the control of Ruins right now, but 1952 have already occupied this position, and Phantom Esports, they're going to be stuck in that church for a little bit. It's not going to be easy for them to get out as well, but they don't really need to. That's a good position inside the circle at this point.
Oh man, and look at the shots taken from both the sides. 1952, one of those teams on the struggling phase. If you take a look at the team that's in the front, though, it's going to be Phantom, who's sitting on 13. So both these teams are pretty much on the same page at this point. This fight's going to matter quite a lot for them. And, oh, misplaced nade, but it's nowhere close. Actually, it was a flashbang. Okay. TDK, they're being quite tactical with this push, taking their sweet little time. Savage Esports, they've divided their compound equally. What a Molotov. And he might just fall on top of the flames. Is he going to, though? Oh, he's taken quite low. TDK, they capitalize on that fact. but they cannot push on forward because Jane is quite low too, so the HP traded off perfectly. TDK will need to try and find a clean opening.
Well, let's see. I mean, as you said, they're looking for a clean opening, but nothing has been cleaned for them so far. All the utilities being lined up by Jane, but he needs to be careful. Hershey is in the perfect spot to gun him down. But on the other side, as I said, I mean, instead of Jane, it's going to be Sandesh that T2K lose, and the fight has all of a sudden become a 2v2 where Deadeyes Guys from the distance can, in fact, third party, and Seog is going to be down. Jane, the last player surviving for his team. Are we going to witness G.I. Jane back in action in this 1v2? He's been surrounded, the utility being lined up by Hershey, tossed out to the corner of the broken wall. He's going to be put out of his position with another 70% HP. Goes for the gunfights. Hershey with the advantage will finish off, and T2K, ladies and gentlemen, is the first team to be eliminated from this match. And I think we're going to have the second quite soon because Deadeyes Guys are now pushing forward to finish off Savage Esports.
Deadeyes Guys, another wave of enemies to try and fight against now. Savage Esports, a lot of pressure is going to kept on applying on these players. But Hershey, got to say that frag onto Jane, though, the way he pushed out, this man's got balls of steel for sure. But Hershey right here behind this little house is also gaining quite a lot of info as Deadeyes Guys, the entire squad's in the front. They're also not trying to overstep themselves. There's another player of Savage Esports is all the way in the back. Chari, too, on the left. Both these teams taking things quite slow, but Savage Esports, if you talk about the mechanical players or the mechanical prowess, these teams have got quite a lot of those. And Hershey's not a man you want to challenge and fight against like that. So Deadeyes Guys, you might as well try and take things a little slow, but this time the hands were a little too busy reloading the gun. And Chari is going to capitalize on top of it. Actually, with Shifu Surin from the top, it's going to be True Love just unleashing that magma on the final player.
Oh, two teams that thought they could walk away with, with no casualties, do end up getting eliminated instantly. And Phantom Esports right now still in their own scuffle against 1952. But I think the end of this one we're not going to see for the next 5 minutes at least, because neither of them has any incentive to force this fight unless some other team tries to third party the position. Then maybe we're going to see these two teams forcefully collide to try and secure a few extra points from the third party or maybe from the team that has been dwindled down. But still, until that happens, until maybe 7C Esports, because they was the closest, maybe until they start to move in towards these ruins area, I think Phantom Esports and 1952, their game plan is all set. They're just going to hold their positions and not do anything.
Look at Evil Eye, though. It's funny how he's trying to move around as well. He's making sure he's not even giving a single foot cues away. Or single audio cues away.
I mean, it's not going to matter even if he does, right? There's no way Phantom Esports, they have a clean push to finish them off.
Sometimes we do see, man, a couple of teams, if they do spot out a player in the front, and if he's all by himself, the send it moment does come through. Especially if they have the info. Again, as I said, if they have the info on the player, if he's separated out or not. But so far, 1952, they're not separated out. They do have another Eagle Eye on top of the rocks right here, or on top of the hill right here, who's going to be the overwatch of the team. And it's going to make sure none of the players or none of the teams in the front or in the back are going to push onto them. He's the main key right here. If he goes down, 1952 are going to be paralyzed big time.
On the other side, though, it is going to be Mama God from the side of Raw falling down as their collision was imminent against the lads of Venom Legends. And Venom Legends, they have found an opening. Deadeyes Guys, look at them. The collision against Raw. They have, in fact, initiated the fight. Sorry, not against Raw, against Phantom Esports. And 1952, they are getting a little bit restless. They want those extra elimination points. They're trying to see if they can spot out either Deadeyes Guys or Phantom Esports, but the vision has completely been blocked out.
Oh, man, and look at Raw. 2 players up from their side. So far, we're not really seeing a lot of action, but Seal, a big team, and a big man goes down. It's Baron now taken care of. 7C, they know. At this point, it's okay. We can just let him bleed out to his death, making sure no one's going to try and close the distance. But we also do see another opening against Deadeyes Guys from Venom Esports. And this one's going to be a big one because they're right next to each other. But it's equal trade-off. That's what it seems like. So both the teams, they're now going to be in the safe spot. Nothing really much to worry about just yet.
So again, kind of a sloth moment inside the match. Not a lot of action happening. Teams are still looking to see if they can catch each other in an awkward spot, out of position, mid-rotation, and capitalize upon that. Since the circle has taken a shift again towards ruins, Pochinki barely inside the circle with Stalwart Esports having taken control of the city now. DRS and JyanMaara quite close to them as well, as you can see on the map, ladies and gentlemen. I think the best position right now, although, lies with the team of Vibes. They won't be bothered for at least the next 5 to 6 minutes again, unless DRS charges forward and wants to take control of the Water City. Unless that happens, I think Vibes can pretty much just stay there, chill, have some pina coladas in the Water City, just enjoy the vibe, wait for all the gunshots, all the sounds of the gunfire to dwindle down, quiet down a little bit, and then step back into the action. Although, look at Skylightz Gaming's pathway towards the circle that's charging forward through Seal Esports and ElementriX, and now I think they're just going to go through 7Cs as well, straight into the circle. There's no stopping them.
Dude, they're just like a drill machine, right? They're just going to straight up go in. They don't care about anyone at this point. All they want is rotation inside the circle, and that's their mark. That's the only thing they see. They don't see anyone else in their pathway. We're talking about people being in each other's pathways. It's 1952 who spot out a bold rotation of Venom Esports. And Venom Esports, for now, they're going to be in a little pit stop. All the players, they don't really have the best of the cover to work with, but over here we have 90 degree in front of us, and he's trying to just be the Overwatch, trying to find any sorts of opening. Venom Esports, they're not going to let that happen. They're not going to give it away like that. But Raw, another one of those teams in the front. Oh, that's a little headshot right there. A little sprinkle off that chili, hot chili on top of his head.
Well, let's see. I mean, it is going to be quite interesting to see how these rotations are going to work out. Deadeyes Guys having disengaged from one fight, running into another. Unfortunately, IHC was waiting for them on the other side of this bridge. Shifusa, having been dropped down to around 50 HP, is going to be a casualty to the lads of 1950 Esports. Even they have the scopes to shoot down opposition at this distance, and they are using them quite efficiently, I might add. I think that is the advantage that IHC can capitalize on, but they are too keen on holding their ground, not too keen on taking this fight against Deadeyes Guys and running into the crossfire of 1952 on the other side. We did see Stalwart Esports take a hit from DRS. They seem to have lost one lad, and it's not looking too good as far as recovery is considered for them.
Yeah, indeed. Things are not looking that hot. Venom Legends, they're going to push on forward in the greet to get the frag. They're going to get the confirmation as well, as Gunner and No Fear now are all the way in the back. A nice cover fire from Gunner. But JyanMaara, again, is one of those teams that's on the struggling phase. And even though another man taken out from that squad, that means only 2 players are now left up and strong. I mean, series of struggle is already there. And now, even in this game, they're already handicapped big time. I don't know how they're going to find their survival, because at this point, this late in the game, it's just the survival of the fittest. And if you're not going to be fit enough, then JyanMaara, you might as well rule yourself out the first day, because the momentum is not in your account just yet.
Yeah. As you said, I mean, the momentum is not yet lost, and ElementriX, although I think for them it's going to be time to worry. They're just slightly outside the edge of the circle, and it is Raw. Well, what is left of the squad of Raw holding them from this rotation? Oh! What just happened? All right, so I was focused on the elimination.
Wait, his teammate knocked him. That's... Yeah. Oh, what? Okay, but at least there's a return knock.
I mean,
So
but
that's
it's
gonna
still
hold
a
them off.
blunder that Assault can capitalize on. Look at that. The situation is completely even. It's a 1v1 now.
Yeah, and they have to go for this frag. If they don't, then it's pretty much going to be GG, but he still wins with a drop shot. A nice timed one as well. As Seal now, they're going to try and pepper down a couple of shots in the front. Not a lot of connections found just yet, though. But I'm pretty sure as soon as that sweet spot's going to be found, connection as well are going to follow it up as Venom Esports moving up slowly and steadily. ElementriX Sus is also on fire, and he's probably going to fall on top of the flames, and that's what exactly happens. As Venom Esports, they put the final nail in the coffin for ElementriX, and they're also out the equation now, as they have been taken care of on 12 spots, but still so many fights happening in the front. Now Steel trying to capitalize on the players of 7C. Steel, it seems like they're just able to dominate 7C. They're able to rip them apart single-handedly. Precious in the front. Skylightz Gaming as well getting laid down now. Steel, what's going on? They're just showing relentless aggression.
But they have forgotten about the team behind them, and Wally, he is getting destroyed by Ripson, who's going to find the opening and the final pick in this fight. Seal Esports, they get eliminated from this match, and ladies and gentlemen, we're finally down to 10 teams, 29 players alive, 20 minutes inside this match, and all hell is about to break loose inside this game. Skylightz Gaming, all 4 players still holding strong. They're trying to find some solid cover for themselves, but it's not going to be easy for them. There's a team right next to them, and it is going to be a tough fight that they will have to win before they start moving forward. 7C Precious quite close to them, and Ripson a little bit further behind. So it's a flank that they have to deal with before they move in. And once they decide to move in, there's the team of Vibes that you have to take care of, who have been so consistent with their spot. They've just been in one spot this entire game, and they've managed to survive quite nicely and safely.
Oh, high risk, high reward rotation from DRS, but doesn't really work out this time. One of the players gets taken out, but the smoke grenades are there in the front, and also a couple of Weekles to try and provide the temporary cover. But this nade is going to be $1 million one. It's locked in quite close. Only dishes out a decent bit of damage. Not really a lot taken away from that, but Venom Legends from the back now. They're taking quite a lot of shots in Skylightz Gaming. 30 bullets of pain just inflicted onto the players of Skylightz Gaming. They'll need to try and fall back, but it's the signature M416 which strike backs and takes care of the final man of Venom Legends.
Well, the final man being down, Venom Legends not in a good position in terms of the overall rankings as well, but in terms of this match, we're down to the top 8 DRS. They are so low. Killer YT has been knocked out as well. Reaper Bot and Delta in the backlines, they're trying to heal up, but the Blues are in Asia, and it's going to cause a lot of trouble for them. The nades, they keep on coming in their direction. Reaper Bot is going to be down on his knees again. Delta very low, crawling to safety inside the smoke, but the spam shots are going to be enough to finish him off. But the squad of Skylightz Gaming, they're here, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. DRS being shown the door to the exit from this match. And I want to see what they are going to do, because they are quite close to the squad of Vibes, and that fight is going to break out at any moment. Look at Malik, he's just using the TPP perspective to look through the window where the players of IHC are going to position themselves. And once he finds that out, I think the information is going to be relayed to his teammates, and they're going to wait for the opportunity, the perfect opportunity to strike, get those elimination points, show the exit to IHC, and move further in the match.
Look at the circle shift, though. Stalwart Esports. Pika is already booking the slot for the rest of his team, and the rest of the players are just going to try and move in. As Deadeyes Guys, they find themselves a little footing in the Water City, but they still need to try and travel through quite a lot of thick and thins, as IHC is going to be right in the front, too. They have quite a lot of players alive as well. 3 players up for them. As long as Alex is alive, it's their saving grace. It's their lucky charm right there. But Deadeyes Guys moving in. Venom Esports as well, taking a lot of shots in the front. Nothing found just yet, but Slipknot, this man's taken down quite low. Vibes as well, they realize Deadeyes Guys, they have no other option to try and move in. And that's what they're trying to capitalize on top now. Venom Esports as well, duking it out against Skylightz Gaming. The final nail put in the coffin. Mafia Ninja goes down.
Well, quite an important man down on his knees, and it's going to be very difficult for the team to recover from that. But Stalwart Esports, look at that. They are not stopping anytime soon. 4 eliminations already secured by the lads of Vibes as well. So they're also looking pretty good. Make that 5, and could have been the 6th one as well, as they do find opening. 7C Esports taking an exit from this game, down to the top 4. 9 players still alive. Vibes Joker, he is inside this wooden shack, spots out Scry, but instantly the cover fire from the teammates of Scry forces him to reposition, and well, now he's out in the open, quite exposed. The utility should be enough to dish out extra bit of damage on the two lads of Vibes. It looks like Stalwart Esports, they want to end the day the same way they started it, with a chicken dinner, as they have three players in a wonderful position. The formation looks solid, four-man strong inside the game. Scry in the backline. Speaker with a nade is going to make sure Phantom Esports are out of this match. Down to the top teams, top two teams, 4v3 situation. And Vibes, you've made it this far. Do you have what it takes to close it out? Or will Stalwart Esports get three chicken dinners on the very first day of the very first super weekend of this PMPL South Asia Spring Season 2022? We're about to find out.
Oh man, I went with IHC, but it seems like now another one of their Mongolian counterparts might just seal the deal on this map. Oh, it's quite a lot of long throw. It's only going to find a bit of damage though. Nothing really critical happening just yet. It's Stalwart Esports. They have the man advantage in this final 4-on-3 situation. Jiggle's been taken down. That's quite a big man taken care of from the side of Vibes. And Stalwart Esports, for them, the opening's already being found. And look at the amount of just gathered, like, look at the amount of intentions or the attention that's being gathered by the man in the Tesla. He's just moving around in the open. Vibes, they're just raining down utilities at this point. Another nade's going to be quite close, but Malik barely patches himself in the nick of time.
I mean, Stalwart Esports, they've done a phenomenal job, but they have to be wary of the utility coming in their direction. So they have pinned down Vibes quite close to the blue zone. And now, with the additional pressure, they are getting those knocks. Vishal is still going to be prone down, but with 30 HP, you can't really do much. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The third chicken dinner for Stalwart Esports brings them back on the first position. 12 eliminations, 27 points secured after the end of this game. What a wonderful finish by this team.
Stalwart Esports just remaining the king of the hill, and now I just can't wait for their social media manager to make a lot of memes on Insta, because that's what he likes to do.
Well, I mean, the team is strong in-game. The social media's game is also strong on their point. So Stalwart Esports, they have everything going for themselves.
Yeah, they have everything going for themselves. The social media manager, too, does a phenomenal job with the memes. But yeah, winner, chicken dinner for Stalwart Esports. Doing a phenomenal job on day one, remaining the king of the hills on the overall rankings, and the teams right below them as well are doing a great job. Of course, Skylightz Gaming was in the top 3 in the after the previous game, but I don't know how things are going to be looking like now, though.
I mean, yeah, I think this is going to make the overall rankings a lot more interesting, because the difference was not that much. I mean, from the 3rd till the 10th position, I mean, with one good game, one top 3 finish with a few extra eliminations, I think you can definitely make a massive jump. We saw T2K do that. And again, I mean, it's going to be important to see who the next team is going to be, because even though there was a lot of inconsistency, as you mentioned, Skylightz Gaming, there was a lot of inconsistency from their side. There was inconsistencies from the side of DRS Vibes as well. I think tomorrow can be a good day for the teams to recover if the difference between the points is not that much. But we'll find out what the difference is after this very short break, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PMPL South Asia Spring Season 2022. This is Warren Super Johnny John, joined by Necro alongside with me. All the matches for the first day of the Super Weekend are done. And before we move further in the discussions of how the games have gone and have a look at the stats and the rankings, overall rankings at the end of the day, a huge shout out to our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, the Oppo F21 Pro, which is going to be out in the market soon. So grab yourselves a winner chicken dinner with the Oppo F21 Pro. I absolutely love the looks of the phone. I mean, just can't wait to have it in my hand soon. But for now, let's have a look at the MVP of the game, ladies and gentlemen, and find out which individual outstood everyone in the lobby in terms of individual brilliance. And, well, what are their stats going to look like? What do you think, Necro, is it going to be?
Ooh, there you go. Might just find out. It's going to be action. There you go. Actually guessed it. It was just a little delayed. The voice was a little delayed for you. But yeah, 5 elim points for action, 3 knocks, and damage of 1,061 all by himself. This man has been proven up to the mark when Stalwart Esports is having a successful day. And action is always there, pretty much having a huge hand behind the entire squad of Stalwart Esports.
I mean, yeah, completely agree with that. I mean, action has, since the start, I mean, even before this lineup was called, Stalwart Esports has been quite a key player for his team and has always been the cornerstone on whom the main sort of firepower of his team relies upon. But I think this time coming into this season, Top has also stepped up his game, although in this match it was action in particular with the 5 elimination and the 1,000+ damage, who was able to make sure that Stalwart Esports were the ones walking away with the chicken dinner. Deadeyes Guys, true love, sir, with 4 eliminations and 678 damage. I definitely thought Deadeyes Guys would have much more of a major impact in this match. I thought they were going to be, in fact, at least making it to the top 2 with the way they were moving. But then again, the cluster towards the Water City positions was quite tricky to deal with. And Deadeyes Guys, they were trying to close in from the northern side, weren't really able to do much to crack open their way inside the final few positions.
Exactly, and True Love too, as you saw, he was right there underneath the MVP, and now you have Stalwart Esports and Vibes stats comparison from the previous game. As you can see, Stalwart Esports almost having 2,000 damage dealt, but then Vibes having 1,000, almost 700 we can count as, but not really close, I would say, but not close enough, as 12 elim points for Stalwart Esports, that's going to seal the deal, and only 6, that's like half of the points difference right there.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely going to give a massive advantage to Stalwart Esports in the overall leaderboard. But I think Vibes, they had a decent run in this match. They did a pretty phenomenal job making it into the top 2 with the 6 extra eliminations. I think this is also going to help out Vibes' position in the overall rankings. And now I want to see where they are going to end up at the overall leaderboard, basically. Match summary in front of us right now. Action, highest damage, highest eliminations as well. We do see Top in terms of the longest distance elimination, right behind Joel, in fact. And even though I think you don't get props for that, it's just an extra advantage, I think, just showcasing what the players are actually capable of inside of the lobby and what intensity they have to deal with. Because you can't expose yourself for a single minute. You think you are isolated, all right, I'm just going to try and peek this window right here. Instantly a shot to the head. And well, the overall match rankings are here as well. So,
it's going to be
again, quite a lot of points secured by Stalwart Esports.
And this is what I want to see. But again, money, man,
why do they walk away with 18? Where do you think this is going to put them in the overall rankings? I think that is also an important thing
as well. On third place, Venom Legends doing quite great for
actually get to the overall rankings.
On 4th place, and I'm pretty sure this team's just going to keep on clawing their way back up.
Right. It seems we have lost Necro with us, but no worries. I'm still here. And all right, Necro is here. I hear you.
Wait, I was with you guys since a long time. I don't know what just happened. Maybe a little bit of technical difficulties, but it's okay. I think so. We have sorted it out, and we're finally back. There you go.
Yes.
It's also seeing nice smile on Warren's face right there. But yeah, overall, that was the first day of Super Weekend, week 1, Johnny. And what are your overall thoughts on that?
I think I absolutely loved the action that we witnessed. I mean, especially considering that teams during the league stages were just going absolutely ham and berserk with those gunfights. Today was a little bit more controlled and more focus was given towards the positioning inside those zones, inside those circles. I mean, we do have the zone analysis for this game, this particular map as well. And as we do talk about Stalwart Esports, them getting the chicken dinner, that is the team that I want to focus on. Today, this is, I think, the most important thing that we have to notice. If you go back and watch the zone analysis for every single map, you will notice Stalwart Esports taking things extremely slow, which is unlike themselves. They don't like to play at this speed. They are a lot more quicker usually and a lot more keen on just being a participant in those gunfights.
I mean, hey, new year, new me, new Stalwart Esports, you know?
Yeah.
Everything's going to be new. It's new. You always got to keep on updating your strats, and always got to keep on updating your stats too. So that's what Stalwart Esports are trying to do. Taking things a little slow this time, but I'm pretty sure, look, it's just the week one. Even though it's Super Weekend, it's just the week one. I feel like Stalwart Esports, the consistency they have shown on the week one, they have a lot of things to prove, even in the upcoming weeks for sure. At this point, they probably must have just solidified themselves in the top 16, right? At least for the week one. I mean, not top 16, in the top 3, because I'm pretty sure even if they have like a shaky performance tomorrow, how shaky can it be?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Stalwart Esports and Seal Esports, they will pretty much have a massive advantage, and that safety cushion that these teams have garnered for themselves, I think, is going to prove very important tomorrow, even if, as you mentioned, the performance is a little bit shaky. But for now, let's move forward, have a look at the open moments of this game, and enjoy the action once again, because I mean, even though the game, the action began a little bit later during the match, it was still quite intense. And starting things off, it is the lads from Train to Kill, who were off to a decent start, but all of a sudden the blunder that they made against Savage Esports, it backfired very badly for them.
Talk about things backfiring though. Hershey right here, such a bold push from this man. Even though he knows he's being spotted, he knows that his position is being revealed, pretty much like a live tracker. He just kept on pushing in, and wow, that was a clean shot from him. Raws will always doing really good in this one, but the team that's not really doing good on the Nepal side has to be JyanMaara. And now in day one, having a bad day, it's okay. But day two, I want to see a complete new breath of fresh air for them.
Well, yeah, I would love to see that as well. I mean, it will sort of increase the intensity in the level of competition by quite a lot. And I think the old rivalries that we used to see are going to be back in action. So that is going to be fun to watch. But again, what was even more fun was this final fight. I mean, it was equally fun as the fights that are going to happen tomorrow. Stalwart Esports, I think, had already set themselves for success with the sort of widespread formation that they had and that they were using to push forward, and I think that sort of played out massively in their advantage in that final fight. Because look at the stats between the two teams. Even though Stalwart Esports, they have those 6 extra eliminations, the difference in the damage numbers, it sort of amounts to the 3 extra exits that they got from the lads of Vibes in the end.
Exactly, as you said, 12 elim points for them. Stalwart Esports just absolutely topping the charts this time. TDK though, not really having the best of the games in this one, but
yeah,
pretty sure they can try and capitalize tomorrow as well. Raw 2, this game, final game, was not really that great. 1952, the woes continue. Same thing is going on with ElementriX as well and JyanMaara. Teams in the latter half, they will need to try and figure out a way to try and step up, or at least they will need to try and whip out some notebooks and try and counter some teams that are blocking their ways.
I mean, there are always going to be teams standing in front of you. I think the main thing that these lads need to realize is how do you work around that. And talking about working around stuff, look at that. Stalwart Esports, they have a nice safety cushion over there. Somewhere around 29-point advantage.
Damn.
97 points in 5 matches. Seal Esports, not too far behind. 29 points behind. 68 points for them. And then we have Vibes. With this decent performance, they have managed to push Deadeyes Guys and Skylightz Gaming a little bit further below them. 53 points for Vibes. Deadeyes Guys bring themselves up to the 49th position. And Skylightz Gaming, although they dropped down 43 points to the 5th. But still, there's not a lot of difference, Necro. Teams can still switch spots tomorrow in the very first match. There's no consistency.
Skylightz Gaming and IHC, they're just tied up, and then we have the rest of the 4 teams right here. I mean, Training Kill, of course, doing not really that great. Venom Legends, too. Sometimes we did see some showcases of greatness from their side, but still, nothing really revealing. Savage Esports, one of those teams, I've talked about this, even with Ocean. This is one of those teams that has a lot of capability when it comes to the mechanical prowess, but when it comes to the strategic and the communication standpoint, this team somewhere down the line struggles quite a bit. This is the entire team card of Stalwart Esports in Super Weekend 1, Day 1. As you guys can see, of course, Action's going to be leading the chart miles away.
I mean, he is leading the chart with 16 eliminations, and look at the damage number, 31-14. Already a monstrous performance in day number 1 from Action, but his teammates, they're not too further behind. I mean, he always faces a close competition within the squad itself, and this time Top is the man chasing with 15 eliminations to his name. And look at Stalwart's performances throughout the day. I mean, Sanhok didn't really go their way, but they were very consistent on Miramar and Erangel's. I mean, the second Miramar also a good chicken dinner finish from Stalwart Esports. Erangels is a whole different story. 3 Erangels today, and they have 29 eliminations combined on those 3 maps.
That's kind of nuts. Look at the amount of damage inflicted too. 57, 58. Yeah, and then top 2 we saw he had like 15 kills from himself, only 1 kill point away to try and catch up with Action. But tomorrow's day, man. Day 2, the day of comebacks. I'm expecting the latter half of the board, the teams from 11 to 16 to try and make a comeback tomorrow, because I want to see that happen. I want to see a tough fight. I want to see the entire leaderboard getting close. I don't just want to see that top 1 and 2 teams getting a huge lead, a huge safety cushion. I want to see every single thing on the line. I want to see every single spot as close as possible. I want to see these teams fight it out till they're sweating bullets.
Yeah, I think that is going to be very fun to watch, and I think it is going to happen. We just need the teams a little bit of time, a breather to adjust, and I think the break that they're going to have before we close the show and before the matches begin tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, it should be enough for the lads to figure out, all right, what went wrong today. Elimination leaders right now. Action leading the charge with 29 eliminations to his name. Demo on the second from Seal Esports with 29 as well. So situation over here in the elimination leaders is still pretty close.
Oh man, Demo, look at him. He looks like my brother.
Oh man, so are you going to be rooting for him from now on?
Yep, I'm going with Demo.
Alrighty, so you're
He's
going
my
with Demo.
brother. Long lost brother.
I'm going with Gyalzen, the only man in the top 5 that's representing South Asia in there. In the top 7, in fact.
Ooh.
I mean, all of them are from South Asia, but the region of Nepal is being represented by Gyalzen, and it's True Love, the second man in the list. Everyone else is from the Mongolian Titans, as I like to call them, the Mongolian trinity of Seal Esports, Stalwart, and IHC.
Exactly, man. Just look at those jerseys. They look so cool. I wish I had one of those.
You're always asking for jerseys.
I didn't ask. I just said I wish I had. I never asked. I just said I wish I had. I mean, if you guys do want to give it to me, though, then feel free. You know,
I mean, Necro, it's been so long. You still haven't gotten a jersey. Do you think they want to give it to you?
Come on, man. You don't got to be so, like, blatantly true. But, yeah, let's take a look at the day summary and let's unclose how the day looked like. And there you go. The day summary in front of you. Stalwart Esports. 3 freaking chicken dinners for themselves. What a way, man.
Yeah, and let's not forget, with those 3 chicken dinners, they also get $3,000. Pretty successful day, I would say. Pretty good day.
That's what matters for me the most. $3,000. I don't care about the points. I don't care about the positioning. $3,000 is what matters, Stalwart Esports. Get that money, dude. Come on. Get that money. Maybe slide it in my pockets, too.
I think the highest we have seen one team walk away with was somewhere around $8,000, $7,000, something along those lines. So I'll definitely check up on that info and be there with the correct numbers tomorrow, because it's going to be quite interesting to see how much of a bank can Stalwart Esports accumulate before they go to the finals. Finals, they get extra money. That's just this is just bonus that they're working towards. And again, it can amount to quite a lot, because I mean, 3 in a day, if they do this for the next 2 days as well, that's $9,000 on a weekend.
$9,000 freaking dollars on a weekend, Johnny, and that's quite a lot too. I do hear the music change too in my ears, so that means maybe it's time for us to try and end the day today, huh?
I'm just hearing money noises, man.
Oh, are you? Talk about money though. Still haven't gotten mine.
I mean, you're never gonna get it. Yeah.
Why, man?
No jersey for Necro, no money for Necro. It's I'm just keeping everything for myself.
All right, then I'm taking these glasses then. If you're gonna do that to me.
Ugh, I keep forgetting them. But it's all right. We're going to discuss about the glasses and the jerseys, ladies and gentlemen. While we do that, we're also going to close the show for today because all the matches are done. 5 matches are done. Stalwart Esports a massive advantage for themselves. But can they hold on to that tomorrow when we return, win the action at the same time, at the same place? You guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Until tomorrow, take care. Bye-bye.